Sup, chooms.
Okay. Yo, yeah, I'm a little late again, I know. Oh, hello, Gum Gum. What's going on here?
And I think the reason why people were so angry is because what they subconsciously feel is ashamed that they can't afford more. So they are basically reacting to me. I make them feel bad about themselves. They can't afford more. So they're mad at me. And they also have rationalized to themselves
Gummy.
they don't want more,
No,
not
Gum
because they can't
Gum.
afford more, but that it's the wrong thing to
No,
do
Gum
more
Gum.
because they're convinced
No,
they'll get
Gum
cancer,
Gum.
their hands
No,
and
Gum
feet
Gum.
will grow, but not their dick, and that, of course, they're going to have bad blood sugar. When the whole point was, if you're going to use more than 4 units, split it up throughout the day so you get more spikes in IGF-1. But they fixate on these emotions that they're feeling and then lash out about it. And it's like, it doesn't matter if I look like Jordan Hutchinson or John Jewett or not. I look better than I.
Shoulders are getting like more plates, more dates. Well, thanks. I'm actually surprised how much I've like responded and grown from just like a small amount. Yeah, growth hormone is definitely legit. Um I think there are some people who like anything, there's like people who respond badly and people who respond really well to certain drugs. The people who say growth hormone is just like a really expensive fat burner, I think they're either not using it well in combination with testosterone and they're relying on like, nandrolones or something rather than just using testosterone as a base, or they just have really poor conversion to IGF-1 and they might need like really high doses that they can't afford to get a benefit from it. But like IGF or growth hormone's legit. I started off with 4 IUs per day and I upped it to 5 IUs just to see. It was also annoying because it's 10 IUs per vial. So if I do 4 a day, that means on the third day I have to extract 2 IUs from the first vial, then reconstitute a second vial, and then extract another 2 IUs. Like, it was kind of annoying. So when I do 5 IUs per day, it's just one vial, one day, no, the other half of the vial the second day, and then it's just on repeat. I don't have to end up using 2 vials one day. So, but I noticed a difference going from 4 IUs to 5. Like, it very obviously fucking does something. Do you worry about getting stretch marks from growing too quickly? No. I already have stretch marks all throughout my body. They're the stretch marks that I do get aren't particularly bad or apparent. Wait. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the stretch marks that I do get, they're not particularly bad or apparent, but if you look closely, like there's these small like marks around my waist. You can see some around my arms. There's a little bit around my shoulders. They're not like weird colored though. They kind of match the rest of my skin tone, so you can't really notice them. There's some people, when they get stretch marks, they just look horrible and fucked up. But I'm not really worrying about it.
I did before. So therefore, I'm successfully building the body. So it doesn't matter. It's just so weird, this culture. And what's funny is the previous video about training didn't get nearly as much anger and hatred out of it. The full-length interview got incredibly positive responses. Only 1 or 2 people were upset about it.
Late-ass stream, where were you? Extenuating circumstances, dude. Just some extenuating circumstances. I might try doing a stream at like 9, 10 in the morning, just working out.
About it. And he would just comment over and over and over again. But for some reason, the term...
Well, to be honest, yeah, part of it was taking a nap. There were some other things. The nap only counted for me being like about an hour later. But there were some other things.
Baby dose for 4 units just freaked people the fuck out. And they had to lash out. And I think it really has to do with income. And or they're afraid to use more. And so they've convinced themselves they don't want to use more because they can't afford it. I keep looking at this David bar and thinking it's a Dove bar. I had my first food cravings. I have what, dandruff?
Oh yeah, probably.
Okay, from my beard. I might look like shit, but I don't look like shit for 46. So a little bit of new programming. Only got 2 weeks left, and I really can't handle the volume, so I took 2 days off, and now I'm just gonna basically split arms and legs up into 2 different days. So on an optimal, perfect world scenario, it'd be upper body, then the next day is arms, then the third day is legs, then the fourth day is off. But nothing's gonna work out like that. Like for example, I'm starting with legs right now. So I'm gonna do legs today, upper body tomorrow, arms Monday, probably Tuesday off, then Wednesday will probably be upper body again. Thursday, I'm supposed to have a meeting with the guys from Advanced Games, either Thursday or Friday. So hopefully that, what? Enhanced Games.
React to this VG.
The people who say send money to murder Palestinians are disgusting racists, and they're bigoted against Muslims and, by the way, Christians who are also being killed in the occupied territories by Israel.
I think the potential in the Gaza Strip.
If he's so concerned with Christians and other religious minorities, why doesn't this guy speak out against Syria the way he speaks out against Israel? Why isn't this guy saying there's a genocide going on in Syria and yelling and screaming about it? Oh, that's right. He can't blame the Jews for that one. Right. So video after video of Christians and Druze getting rounded up and mass executed in Syria. Well, who cares? Because I can't blame it on the Jews.
Is unbelievable. The Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
Media accounts earlier this year. Well, the Washington...
Like, this is so fucking retarded. There's historical precedents for this, by the way. Like, when you look at World War I, one of the reasons why World War II happened afterwards is because of the crazy the crazy economic punishments that Germany faced after World War One. Then after World War II, the U.S. government helped to pump a fuck ton of money into Europe and Japan to help them rebuild and develop. Like, and it worked. They got rid of fascism, and these countries ended up doing extremely well. So the idea that it's a bad thing for the U.S. to invest in Gaza or the West Bank and redevelop it, like, it's just outrageously fucking stupid. And again, there's no satisfying these people. When you give Palestinians money, they still complain. So there's a plan in place to give them money, develop this area. Oh, genocide, ethnic cleansing, la 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 la. They just want Islamic fascism to take over. That's all they want. They want Jews to die, and they want Islamic fascism to take over. They don't like the idea of the U.S. investing in Gaza because they know what that means. They know that means the eradication of Islamic fascism. So fuck these people. They're just fucking cocksuckers. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Kind of crazy how juicing for 1 month can make such a difference. It just shows that steroids really do work, and anyone underplaying the effects are liars. I think the people who say they don't make that big of a difference either have never taken them, don't train hard, like they're lazy as fuck, or they just have some of the most dog shit genetics imaginable. But yeah. If you train hard and you have decent genetics, like, they're gonna make a big fucking difference.
Did this earlier today. I made sure the device was sitting plumb, but the ground isn't level, so it may be off by an inch or so.
Yes.
It's a pretty good vertical leap. Nice. Thanks for the donation, Matthew. W donated $2. Thought this was kind of a funny ad for Immaculate. Have you seen it? Though thought it meh. Apparently it was hard to find a church for the film in Italy, as the Catholic Church didn't approve of the film.
Second Kings, chapter 2, verses 20.
Dude, I do not understand the hype around Sydney Sweeney. She's pretty fucking mid, dude. Like, just... not great. Like, every other girl, if you go to Toronto, like, every other girl is hotter than her.
23 to 24. From there, Elijah went up to Bethel.
Bro, she doesn't even really have a nice body. Like, you know, she's not out of shape. Like, she's at a healthy body weight and all that. But, like, as far as, like, she doesn't have big tits, doesn't have, like, a wide hips, doesn't have, like, a big juicy ass or anything. She's not, like, an athlete where she has, like, an athletic body. It's just, like, she has a body. You know, she's in shape enough. Like, it's just mid, you know? I've noticed this with Americans in particular. I think there's so many Americans that are just so fat and out of shape and ugly that, like, these mid-ass chicks end up, like, being seen as, like, super fucking hot. but like it's like they're not. It's just everyone else is so fucking ugly.
As he was walking along the road, some boys came out of town and jeered at him. "Get out of here, Baldy," they said. "Get out of here, Baldy." He turned around, looked at them, and called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys.
So was that like a thing for a film, or was that just something she did? Well, thanks for the donation, W.
I was just getting in the rhythm with homework, then you went live. Can we watch the Patrick Bet-David Jubilee this stream maybe? How you doing tonight, Mr. Burgess?
Yeah, we can probably watch that. Yeah, we're gonna watch the Gary, Catherine Klein thing too. Thanks for the donation, retard, and I'm doing good. Had a refeed day today. Muscles are more pumped up, so I'm gonna be ready for some good training tomorrow. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Why are these people so upset over the demise of Islamic fascism anyway? What are they even getting out of it?
I guess they're happy Jews would die? That's the only thing I can figure. Like, they are all anti-Semites. That's clearly their fucking goal with all this shit. So, I'm assuming they just want Jews to die. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Sneed donated $2. I agree, VG. Sydney Sweeney was definitely way hotter 10 years ago. Is that a joke? Because she'd be, like, underage? Thanks for the donation, Sneed.
Extenuating circumstance was Jasmine bothering you in some way, wasn't it? Otherwise you just say.
No. Nothing to do with that. I haven't talked to her in, at all. Like, over a month now? Maybe 2 months? I haven't talked to her at all. Thanks for the donation, though, CDG.
I'm sure whatever film Sydney Sweeney just promoted is not worth a watch, seeing how most movies today suck.
What movies has she even been in? Everything Sucks, never seen that. Handmaid's Tale, never seen that. Sharp Objects, I've never even heard of these movies. Euphoria, never even heard of that. Anthology series, White Lotus. Oh, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So she's literally in garbage. Like, just garbage. Yeah, I literally have no idea. I've never seen anything she's been in. I've never even heard of any of that garbage. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. W, donate $2 LMAO. Here is her crying because people called her out for being mid as fuck.
I would never actually do this, like, ever. But, I think it's really important for people to see how words actually affect people. And I know everyone says, like, you can't read things and you shouldn't read things, but, like, I'm a fucking person. I'm just sitting here with
Okay, I have absolutely zero respect for her whatsoever. She's a fucking piece of shit. She just decided to go live. Yeah, she's an attention-seeking fucking whore. This is one of the most, like, insane attention whores I've ever fucking seen. The only reason she went live is so that she'd get a huge stream of comments with everyone saying she's beautiful. Like, this is like narcissistic personality disorder. Yeah, fuck Sydney Sweeney. I'm never seeing a fucking anything she's in. Any movie that bitch is in, I'm not seeing it. Thanks for the donation though, W.
VG, she was in Euphoria, that's where she got famous. It's basically a raunchy teen drama. It sucks, but she is actually a really good actor in my opinion.
Regardless of her being a good actor, she's still a piece of shit. I wouldn't bother watching anything she's in. Thanks for the donation, retard.
Basically, the Juiced Olympics, that I'm meeting with them Thursday or Friday for a video conference call. I'm going to ideally hit legs on Thursday, but I'm going to put that call first because this is a big deal. So if I have to take Thursday off, that's fine. Then I'll do the legs the next day. So in theory, worst case scenario, no, I really don't want to do that because I want to be able to hit legs Saturday and make it the last leg day. So today is Saturday and we're hitting legs. Ideally, I hit legs in the middle of the week again, like Wednesday, arms, and then Friday's the show. Everything's subject to change because Dom's changing my food daily right now. Like, I had 2 back-to-back medium days. Today's a low day, and then he's going to give me another medium day tomorrow. So, do I have all the fat off? No. But at this...
I don't know if it's the roids turning your brain into spaghetti, but you have the worst taste in movies. The Hole in the Ground was so fucking lame. It was so fucking lame and boring that it made me text my ex, "What you doing? Don't listen to this man."
Really? That was a good horror movie. Fuck you. That was good. Watch The Hole in the Ground. That was actually a good, creepy movie with an interesting idea. You're an idiot. Thanks for the donation, LAMOW.
You are looking amazing. How's it feeling on cycle and why you on kick?
Well, thank you, dude. I feel fucking great being on steroids. I just feel fucking unstoppable. It's great. Mood is way better. Just nothing bothers me anymore. And I'm just focused on, like, being happy and doing what I enjoy, and if any, like, stupid nonsense comes up, like, it just doesn't bother me. It's changed my mood a fair bit. And I'm on kick because I'm banned on YouTube for a week. The ban should lift either Friday or Saturday. Thanks for the donation, though, Alan.
So what, a lot of people also think that Alec Baldwin is a good actor and he is still a piece of shit.
Alec Baldwin's a massive piece of shit. I can't stand that fucking guy. I love how that fucking douchebag... Yeah, I love how that douchebag is like this anti-gun advocate. Oh, who would ever want a gun? Guns are for criminals and thugs. And sure enough, that's the fucker who accidentally blows a woman away with a fucking revolver. Just fucking dipshit. So, fuck that asshole. And, like, by the way, there was actually a chance that guy would have been criminally convicted because it seems like he was hiding something. And he was partly to blame for, like, you know, criminal negligence or something because he lied to the police. That was very obvious. It's just that the police were corrupt fucking retards like they normally are. And they ended up hiding evidence in the fucking case, which his lawyers discovered. And then the judge dismissed his charges because there was clear unfair bias from the prosecutor. But if the prosecutor and the police didn't fuck up, you know, sort of like they did with O.J. Simpson, there was a realistic possibility he would have been convicted, because it seems like he was, to some extent, criminally responsible, but he got lucky. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
So would you say you think Jasmine is more attractive than Sydney Sweeney in your opinion? Also, what do you think of Alexandra Daddario? If you say she's mid, I can't take your opinions on female beauty seriously.
Well, at this point, I don't find Jasmine or Sydney Sweeney attractive. Like, when I first met Jasmine, I think she was more attractive. But, yeah, at this point, no. Alexandria, or Alexandria Daddario? I mean, I like what's going on down here. I would definitely lick that asshole. Her face is a little weird. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd stick my cock in her mouth. Maybe it's just some of the lighting and angles. You know what, she's cute. Yeah, she's cute. I think some of the photos are just a little weird. Yeah, I think it's the makeup she's wearing. Some of the makeup she wears makes her face look a little weirder. Yeah, she's cute. I like her fucking ass. Thanks for the donation, though, Porch Monkey.
What's your favorite movie, TV show, favorite color, favorite flavor of donut, current favorite porn actress? Also, I told you to watch The Old Manchurian Candidate like 6 months ago and reminded you multiple times and you still haven't watched it. It's good.
Favorite movie? It might be the latest Blade Runner. There's a few that could be in contention for favorite movie. The original Ghost in the Shell animated movie's up there. Akira might be up there. Hereditary is also really good. Those are some of my favorites. Favorite color, probably purple. TV show, I don't know. Like, lately, like, the latest TV show that I've seen that I really liked was Fallout. Favorite flavor of donut? Either simple glazed or vanilla sprinkle. Current favorite porn actress, probably Riley Reid. Also, I told you to watch The Old Manchurian Candidate. Yeah, I know. I still gotta watch that. Thanks for the donation, though, retard.
By the way, she's also a massive Trump supporter who literally endorsed racial eugenics.
Are you talking about the fucking American Eagle Jean ad? I don't know I don't know if she's a eugenicist, but like a racial eugenicist. Eugenics are fine. It's just racial eugenicists are fucking crazy. Yeah, I mean, like, if she's an actual Trump supporter, like, genuinely likes his policies rather than just seeing it as a lesser of two evils kind of thing, yeah, she's a fucking idiot. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
This point, peaking is more important than just getting off a quarter pound of fat or a half a pound of fat. I've still got some glute striations at the bottom of the glute.
Yeah, I want to get one of these, the Atlantis.
Big mistake that so many people make in these natty or not debates.
Alright, let's watch the... Ah, fuck. Let's watch this.
What's up, everybody? Natalie here with two amazing.
Do that. The Iranian regime wants to do the basis of my hatred for humans. It's like men suck when it comes to women. Straight people suck when it comes to gay people. White people suck when it comes to black people. Cops suck when it comes to black motorists, right? It's like the list is endless. Why human beings continually fall short of ethics is just beyond me. We're just an incorrigible lost species. But that's a whole topic, I guess. Well, maybe we'll bring it up right now.
Maybe we will. Sweet. So that's pretty much all I had on political advocacy. Really glad that you agree that it is important. So I'm looking forward to not hearing you say that lobbying is garbage again.
Skip to 1 hour 30. All right.
During Q&A sessions, though. I did.
And those are not what people point to. But the things that people point to as Gary inspired me to go vegan are primarily your Georgia Tech speech, where you didn't say this shit. So that rhetoric is not, you can't say that rhetoric is what has like inspired people to go vegan, because
this rhetoric is it doesn't count. It's my other views. My other views don't matter on anything, whether it's fucking human rights or it's the best music band. It doesn't matter.
If your stance is that you want to focus on the animals, then why A, make your pro-Israel stance known, and B,
like he can't have other interests. If you're an animal activist, you can't, like, say anything other than things directly related to animal rights activism. Like, if he has a political opinion, he may want to share his political opinion, same as if he has, like, opinion on art or entertainment. He might want to say, hey, I like this movie, or I like this video game. Like, oh, what does that have to do with veganism? You're not allowed. Somebody might not like your movie, picks, so you're discrediting veganism because you have bad taste in movies. Like, this fucking stupid, dumb bitch.
Why bring up on every stream that human rights is the greatest impediment to animal rights? Why do you
That's
keep
true.
talking
That's
about
because
these
it's
things?
true.
That's
Why
a true
do you keep
statement.
talking about these things if you want to focus on the animals only?
Because I'm trying to help.
Yeah, because you, like, dumb motherfucker intersectionalist communist cocksuckers are just trying to hijack the fucking vegan movement to spread communism.
The
He's
animals.
not going around saying inflammatory shit and starting fights with human rights advocates. He's focused on the animals. So just be Gary Yourofsky with your
But
blunt,
Catherine-
savage approach and stop talking about Israel doing vegan washing for the Israeli government, and stop saying that fuck human
You're
rights. Like, that's all we're asking.
Okay, but I'm telling you, this is what you won't accept.
W don't need $2, damn, that bitch is dumb as fuck. Anyway, did you see Avi's Twitter response to this debate? I did not. This is why the button needs to be left with me.
Fuck human beings. I hope we all die. If there was a button in front of me, Catherine, right now, if there was a button and I could push it right now and eradicate every human on this planet, I wouldn't even consult with Carmen.
There is nothing original about that movie. It's another Body Snatchers copy but with a Haley Joel Osment one ape. Now I gotta meet X for coffee. Fuck you. A good movie is Weapons, but the ending was a letdown. You don't support veganism, ha.
That was not a Body Snatchers copy. That was a fairly different kind of concept. Like, yeah, there's some overlap, but it was not a Body Snatchers copy. Thanks for the donation, though, haha.
Hey Spec King of Vegansham.
Man was made in the image of God and given dominion over the fish of the sea and the...
16 hours ago? Oh boy. I guess we can watch that in a bit. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
I wouldn't fucking call Paul Bashir. I wouldn't text Joey. I'd fucking press the button. I'd press it. It'd be done. I hate human beings, and you will never change my mind. I hate human
I
beings.
would press
You will
the
never
button
change my
too.
mind.
I would
Never.
press
There's
the
actually
button
a whole
too.
subset of vegans called the button pushers.
Yeah,
That's a
There you
pretty
go.
I
common
would press the
thing.
button too. I just think that the difference between the red button and the genocide in Gaza is that the red button eliminates all humans and there is no suffering that ensues.
I mean, like, if you think things through, you probably wouldn't want to eradicate human beings because it's not like animals are necessarily any better. I think people kind of appreciate the purity that animals have where they aren't influenced by ideology. So, like, the reason a lion will kill and eat a gazelle isn't due to some sort of, like, racist ideology where we're superior to them and we need to eradicate them and we have dominion. It's literally just, survival and instinct. Whereas when humans do this sort of thing, it's ideology, it's things that are kind of like, distasteful, gross, Nazism, communism, crap like that. But when you get down to it, like, what you really care about is, like, what species has the capacity to, like, evolve socially and develop like ideologies that are actually going to promote well-being. Right now, humans are really the only species that can do that. So if we just eradicate all humans, well, you're going to be left with just the natural world and animals do what animals do. Some animals live peacefully and they're herbivorous, but a lot of them are carnivorous and will just commit mass killings, regardless of any ideology. So I don't think it's a sensible take to say we should just eradicate all human beings if your interest is, just creating a better world. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
Did you see Mike Israetel fail to jump 6 feet in the standing long jump in that Navy SEAL fitness test? Like bro, I could do 8 feet when I was in the 6th grade. Granted that is still the school record in my old elementary school, but still.
I don't know what I could do in a standing long jump. Mike Israetel is not a very athletically gifted person. He also has trouble standing on one leg, which is really weird. And he's also, like, I think what really fucks him over with things like that is he's just overweight. Like, he's not just, like, a big bodybuilder, like, he's fat, and he can't stop being fat. So he has a lot of excess weight. And, like, when you look at his proportions, too, like, he has such a massive bloated stomach. I'm sure that, like, throws off your balance and just makes it really hard to produce, like, power off the ground and jump and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Thanks for the donation, though, Matthew.
Are they saying doing pro-Israel commentary as a vegan is bad because you should just be doing vegan activism? Does this apply to vegans who shill for fat gazins? Ideological diversity in veganism is important, it shouldn't imply other political positions.
I think they're basically whining and crying that Gary's pro-Israel and they don't like his political stances on other things. That's primarily what they're complaining about. And Catherine Klein is an intersectionalist communist fucktard. Thanks for the donation, though, retard. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, who fucking cares about somebody's political stance if they're doing vegan activism? That's all that really matters. Like, unless it's something really crazy and extreme, like communism or Nazism, I don't know why you'd care what somebody's political stance is.
And understand, both of you and all the intersectionalists, 29 years, I have empirical evidence, way more than you guys. The number one impediment to the advancement of animal liberation is human rights. You want to argue? Hold on. You want to argue with me about Palestine and Israel? Which side is right? It's a different topic. That is indisputable. Animals will never be free. I'm gonna give you an example. During my lifetime, I watched. You guys know about the 3 stages of truth, right? It starts with denial, mockery, acceptance. I literally saw gay rights. I'm a 55-year-old man. Go through the 3 stages in America, at least. It went from denial to mockery to you can get married, and there I'm like, oh my God. When this happened, I said, oh my God, finally we're gonna focus on the animals. Oh my God, finally. And then what happened? Here comes the fucking trans people. Here we go. Another group of fucking humans. Really? We gotta wait for the cows now again? And the pig. And by the way, who's next after the trans people? The hermaphrodites? And then who's gonna be fucking next? Another group of humans. They'll find another group. Anything to not focus on the cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys, and fish. I'm tired of it. I will not accept it.
You are speaking to 2 intersectional vegans who are not saying humans.
You're not.
Intersectional vegans are fucking communists, and they try to hijack the vegan movement so that nobody focuses on veganism and they focus on communist revolution. So intersectionalists are not vegans, or they're not vegan activists. They're communist revolutionaries.
Represent the community. I've never met 2 rational and reasonable intersectionalists before. This is not who attacks me. Do you go online and see who attacks me?
I mean, I attacked you. Did you see my
No,
video
you did.
about you?
No, you had a disagreement with me. I don't find it to be an attack. I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you. I don't hate either of you. I like both of you. I like both of you more than I thought I was going to like, to be honest with you. I really like you guys. I consider you, listen, Joey Carbstrong, I did a 3.5-hour interview on his podcast, hasn't been released yet. Joey Carbstrong is 100% Palestine. We are still best of friends. It is okay that we disagree. See, I'm okay that Joey has his Palestine position. I'm okay that you have your Palestine position. You're not okay that I have an Israeli position. You act like it's a cut and dry position, that the poor Palestinians are the ones getting, fucked over. I say it's Hamas's fault. All this is 100% Hamas. They attacked the wrong government, the second most powerful military on the planet, and they're reaping the fucking god.
They're definitely not the second most powerful military on the planet. Right now, it would probably be Ukraine. Just because of the amount of not only training and experience they've gone through, but just due to the amount of weapon support they've also gotten from the US and Europe. Israel's like a really, really tiny nation. What they're really good at is just using whatever they have to the maximum extent of effectiveness. Like, they do have really high-tech weaponry, like the F-35s, and they use really good strategy, but they're just not large enough, and they don't have a big enough population size.
Goddamn rewards of that bullshit, taking hostages. What kind of shit is that, by the way? You don't take hostages?
What kind of shit is
by the way, too, Israel is always fighting Arab and Persian armies, and they're notoriously just incompetent. And it's for a variety of reasons. A lot of Arab and Persian militaries, they don't have a they don't have meritocracies where, you become a 5-star general because you've risen through the ranks and you're better than everybody else, and you've been through combat. You're a really good strategist. You become a 5-star general through my uncle is friends with the dictator, and then they appoint you into that position.
How many times must I teach you this lesson, old man? We need meat-eating animals to prevent overpopulation. Do you really want pest species like rats, mice and bugs to eat dystery all our barbecues? The overbreed, it's the same reason.
I don't really want to get into that right now, Dodo, but thanks for the donation. I'll take your word for it. So they don't have meritocratic systems. People get appointed into high positions just because of political corruption, basically, and it makes a lot of their military incompetent. They also buy military equipment not on a needs basis or a like any kind of basis in which it would actually be used effectively. They buy a lot of very overpriced, expensive military equipment that they can't effectively maintain or use just because they can brag about it. So Arab and Persian militaries are just notoriously known for just being idiot, incompetent morons. And since again, Israel is up against fucking idiots, it kind of makes them seem a little more powerful than they really are.
Retaliating by bombing
I'd retaliate.
children and
I'd retaliate.
children.
I'd retaliate. But Hamas is hiding behind them. Catherine, here, if I took here, let's.
Here's that video in case you haven't seen it and if you want to react later.
Folks, I'm Dr. Mike, and I don't know.
Is that guy a Navy SEAL or a Green Beret? They all have beards. I might be mixing him up with someone else. I don't know about that guy. I'm not sure if I might be mixing up the one guy. Okay, we'll react to that later. Thanks for the donation, Matthew.
Let's say I violated my rule about hostage taking, which I think is absurd. Let's say I took a bunch of the wives of vivisection as hostage. Do you know what it would take for me to release these people? All the police or the government would have to do is step on one spider, kill one mouse, and I go, okay, stop. Okay, I'm sorry. Wait a second. No. I'm okay. All right, please don't harm them. And what does Hamas do? They hide behind the people that they claim that they care about, the women and the children that are getting the brunt of everything. This is Hamas.
Committing collective punishment against innocent Palestinian civilians.
What are they supposed to do? What would you have them do to get the hostages back? Catherine, what would you have them do to get the hostages back?
Stop the genocide.
Okay, but tell me.
Look, I'd say based on experience, yes, Ukraine is number 2, but also neither Ukraine or Russia have an advanced navy, and so if we take that into consideration, I'd say China is number 2, even though they have limited experience, they are constantly training.
Very debatable if they have an adequate navy, because again, they've never actually, it's been a while since they've been in a war where they've actually had to use their navy. 2, they have massive corruption within the military. They have similar problems with their military as Russia does. And again, some of that has to do with communism. So, no one really knows, but, yeah, I doubt it. Xi Jinping has been purging members of the military due to what he considers corruption, but it's probably more to do with political allegiance. So he's just had spies or informants rat on members of the military that aren't loyal to him. And then he's just killing off a bunch of people who he knows are a threat. It's just this always happens with communism. They always deliberately try to keep their military weak so that they can prevent a military coup. So I don't have much confidence that China has a particularly strong military because, one, they're communist. We know there's a lot of corruption within their military. And it's always the case. Communist countries keep their militaries weak, and they have no actual military experience. So, but thanks for the donation, retard. Catherine's a fucking idiot. So here we go. The typical stupid dumb woman brain bullshit. Okay, how would you get the hostages back? Do whatever the terrorists say. Yeah, I'm sure that'll work.
Tell me the solution.
Give them equal rights. Stop the genocide and the occupation. Give them equal rights. There you go. That's what they're at.
What a fucking idiot. All Hamas wants is equal rights.
Again, if meat-eating animals go extinct, herbivores will to do to overpopulation and starving to death from overbreeding and overplant composition. This is a fact, and that one study from Yellowstone does not disprove anything.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
So
for. That's why they have the hostages in the first place, to get.
You think the Islamic crazy terrorists of this world are going to listen to reason and logic and say, oh, okay, guys, you gave us our freedom. Here you go. These are the people that take women off the streets in fucking Iran because they don't have a headscarf on and rape them and murder them. These are the people you think are logical that you want to deal with? You got to be kidding me. Come on.
We should just bomb and kill them?
I don't know. I just know that those hostages need to be fucking given back.
You know, I kind of want to debate her, but I know exactly how it will go. Like, it's like I'll just ask her very simple, straightforward questions like, okay, what is your better solution to getting the hostages back and like having peace in this region? And then she'll literally just say, do whatever the fucking terrorists like ask. Just do whatever the terrorists want you to do. And then like I'll say, okay, where's the evidence that would work better? Because presumably, if you do whatever they say, they will figure, oh, well, this works. We can get whatever we want. So they'll just keep pushing things and pushing things and pushing things, and then they'll just create a situation where, like, they can just eradicate all Jews. And we know they want to eradicate all Jews. Like, they've admitted this. Like, so again, it's like dumb, like, rich white woman bullshit where they assume everyone thinks like them, everyone is a reasonable person, oh, everyone just wants peace and love and happiness. Like, no, she just does not understand Islamic jihad. This is somebody who's just completely and utterly fucking ignorant and sheltered and has never dealt with, like, crazy ideological nonsense.
You ever been to Philly before, bro?
No, I've never been to Philadelphia. I don't get it. I don't get it. Thanks for the donation, nigga. Dude, like, it's especially stupid for her to say this when, like, look at the October 7th attack. If all Hamas wanted was peace negotiations, why did they murder 1,200 civilians? Like, why are they torturing hostages? Like they haven't just executed them, they're literally torturing them to death. Like, it's just it's so fucking ridiculous. Like, this person's just a fucking idiot. Like, again, I kind of want to debate her, but like, I know exactly how it's gonna go. It's just such a fucking... It's just absolute brain rot and headache inducing dealing with these fucking people.
Back. And then we can go to the table and figure it out. But you guys want to jump the gun and say, no, let them keep the hostages. I say, give them the hostages, then we'll negotiate. Why do they get to steal people and then make a negotiation? That is so backwards to me. How could that be okay with all these free Palestine people? That it's okay to steal people, to take them away?
Support Hamas. Being pro-Palestine is not being pro-Hamas.
Okay, but that's the problem. You're not looking at the...
Being pro-Palestine is being pro-Hamas, for one thing. And secondly, she literally just justified what Hamas did with taking back hostages. She literally just made the argument, well, this is something that you would logically and reasonably do if you want to make peace negotiations. So she literally just tried to justify Hamas's actions while claiming, oh, I'm not pro-Hamas. She also stated that Israel should placate to Hamas if they take hostages. Well, Israel should logically do whatever Hamas says. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say, I'm not pro-Hamas, but justify everything they do, and then say, Israel should also do everything Hamas says. Like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Cause. That's the cause of this problem right now. This is
And what's the
Hamas.
cause of Hamas? The Israeli government created Hamas.
Well, come on.
They did not create Hamas. Hamas is an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood. They're just an Islamic jihadist terrorist organization.
I don't think the
Anyways,
Israeli government created radical Islamic regimes.
I
You
want
know
to-
radical Islamic
yes,
people
what
are fucking
radicalizes
psycho.
people, their material conditions. Okay, anyways,
Come
I
on.
want to ask you, because
This is just... Again, this is somebody who watches TikTok. Just TikTok brain rot.
going back to what you said in your letter, you claimed that intersectional vegans are crazier than what you perceive to be radical Islamic terrorists. Okay,
I do.
so
I
I just have to speak to the audience for a second. Okay, Gary is clearly not a good judge of proportionality if he thinks that radical Islamic terrorists are not as crazy as some pesky woke vegans. Like, if you're all about, oh, actions are more important than words, like, how are you saying that some annoying vegans online who have criticized you publicly are more psychotic than radical, violent Muslim extremists? Like, that clearly shows to me that you don't have a good sense of proportionality. So to the audience, like, why are you trusting Gary's sense on the topic of Israel?
I don't know what the fuck she's even talking about.
By the way, they usually have the Rocky near the bottom of the steps, so they may have put it back there for speed to do that. They have just put it back for some other reason. Haven't been to Philly in a minute.
I thought it was always at the top of the steps. I don't know, though. I've only ever seen it at the top. Thanks for the donation, though, nigga.
Palestine. If he
I don't care if you trust me. I'm not trying to push it. Don't agree with me, by the way. When I say the Who sucks and the Rolling Stones suck, because I like Led Zeppelin and Queen and Judas Priest and AC/DC and Stevie Ray Vaughan, you can still like the Who and the Stones and go, Gary fucking has no idea about rock and roll music. I don't give a fuck. I'm not asking you to agree with me on Israel. Catherine, you're not understanding. I'm not a human rights activist. I'm not standing up for Israel publicly. I'm not going to jail for Israel.
What are you
I'm not
doing
giving
right
my
now?
life.
What are you doing? What are you doing? If not standing up for Israel,
Who cares
you're going
what
on
I do?
Vegan Gains podcast. You're going on Vegan Gains podcast. And
Yeah,
you're
but
saying
Catherine, I don't
that
care if you
vegans-
agree with me.
Hold on, let me just finish this point. You're going on Vegan Gains podcast, and you're saying, I have a quote here. You are saying that vegans should support Israel for that alone, the most vegan-friendly place on the planet, and people want to condemn them. Get out. Like, how this is vegan washing. This is helping Israel. This is expressing your pro-Israel stance. Yet you're contradicting
But I
yourself.
don't
when you then
care.
say, I don't care. I don't have a position.
Catherine, I don't care what I said on Vegan
do this-
Gains.
Okay,
You know how many
Gary,
words I
do this
speak?
too.
So again, like, what is she complaining about? So this is like, you're not allowed to support Israel? Okay. Fuck you, bitch.
I just want to say I do this too in my relationship. Like, when I'm annoyed with my husband and I know that he's right, instead of just being like, you're right, sometimes I'll be like, I don't even care anymore. I don't want to have this conversation. I don't care. Like,
No.
that's what you're doing right now, okay?
Okay,
Like,
listen, it's not.
you
Catherine,
clearly have
I
a
am not a
position.
human
You
rights
clearly-
activist.
I don't
I am
expect you to be a
not.
human rights activist. I don't expect you to. What I expect is for you to stop talking about it if your goal is to focus on the
Okay,
animals.
let me
This is insane. So she's basically saying he can never give any opinion on anything if it does not directly relate to veganism. Why? Why ought you not give your opinion on literally anything if it does not directly relate to veganism?
throw this out there.
Saying things. Stop praising Israel. Stop saying fuck human rights.
No, I won't stop saying fuck human rights.
Take
No.
a page out of Earthling Ed's book and just don't fucking talk about it. Don't
Okay.
go on the podcast circuit talking
Okay.
about it so much, and then
Okay.
I wouldn't have a problem with you. Okay.
Okay, can you appreciate one thing, though? So this is what the intersectionalists won't appreciate either. Guess who's not a politician? Questions are asked to me, and I told Natalie before this interview happened, nothing is off limits. This is what
Let me see. Hey, I'm watching your debate with Catherine Klein. She's a fucking stupid, crazy, lying bitch. I don't even know what point she's really trying to make. She literally just came on to debate you just to complain that she doesn't like your political stance on Israel. She's clearly a fucking anti-Semite. While claiming she doesn't support Hamas, she literally justified Hamas's actions on October 7th with taking hostages. She ignored the fact that they killed 1,200 civilians, that they're torturing and killing the hostages, making it seem as though they have some sort of rational political stance when they are just committing Islamic jihad. The only issue they have with Israel is that Israel exists. they want to kill all the Jews so that they can make that region an Islamic state. And she's basically fucking saying Israel should just do whatever Hamas says. So how in the hell can you say I don't support Hamas when she justified them killing civilians, taking hostages, and claims Israel should just do whatever they want? So this is just some like dumb fucking crazy bitch. And again, the only thing she had to say to you during this debate was, don't give a political opinion that I don't agree with. Like, does that extend to anything else? Like, if you like a certain movie, or like if you like pineapple on pizza, you're not allowed to share that opinion because she doesn't agree with it and it doesn't directly relate to veganism? Like, she's just a fucking scatterbrained dumb bitch who just watches TikTok.
What the professors appreciated about me too. Appreciate the fact that if I get a question, I'm not going to avoid it because I don't want to offend somebody or not offend somebody. Questions are asked.
I honestly don't understand how anyone can support Hamas at this point, VG.
They're just anti-Semites, dude. That's all they are. Thanks for the donation though, dude. Yeah, I left him a voice message.
It would be pretty funny if Speed came to a city near you and you stream sniped him and pressed him on veganism.
That would be kind of funny. I don't think I'd really have an opportunity to do that. Like, he'd be surrounded by, like, a bunch of screaming child fucktards, so... I'd probably be surrounded with a bunch of, like, 12-year-olds yelling and screaming, and I wouldn't be able to get a word in. Thanks for the donation, though, nigga.
To me, and I answer them whether about animals or humans. But I want to be clear if it's not clear enough. I don't care if you agree with me about Israel. I don't care what I said on vegangains about, oh, you should support them or not. I am an animal rights activist. I only want you to follow me, listen to me, and be inspired by me when I talk about what animals are going through. All this stuff doesn't mean anything. It's not going to change one bit of my opinion about humans being the scourge of all scourges. It's not going to change my leanings towards blacks over whites, women over men. Okay, even if I lean towards Israel over Palestinians, humans suck. War sucks. Massacring people suck. I don't know the solution, and neither do the pro-Palestinian people. Okay, it goes so much deeper. You're saying that I'm being flippant about it, and so are the intersectionalists by saying, oh, it's that easy. BDS. Israel will change. I'll just open up the borders and everyone's going to get along. These people have hated each other for thousands of years, just like humans have hated
I'm not
animals.
saying it's going to be easy. I never said it's going to be easy. I just said
I think most people think it's that easy. That, oh well, we'll just all condemn Israel, support Palestine, and then things will change and be happy and dandy.
Well,
humans are incorrigible.
Zionists seem to think that just bombing the shit out of people and starving them.
But why do you care so much? Why do you care about
extremism, which is absolutely not how you eradicate dangerous ideologies.
Let me point this out. Okay, let me explain my position further. Malcolm X, who is my second favorite person behind George Carlin, said you can't.
I'm sure both of those people would be pro-Israel.
I don't care whether they would be.
Hated Israel.
Malcolm X did say you can't be anti-slavery and pro-slave master.
That was sarcasm.
So I don't care if Palestinians die at the end of the day. I don't care if Israelis die at the end of the day. I don't care if whites die, blacks die, gays die, or straights die. You know what I care about? The animals, and the animals benefit when humans die. You want a radical statement?
I care about both.
I won't, because I won't. But don't ask me, ask them. This is what I mean. Why intersectionalists are the craziest. They want me to care about them, but they don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. That's all human rights people care about, is themselves.
You never answered my question about how you think it makes any sense to claim that pesky woke vegans are worse and more psychotic than Islamic extremists.
Because what you just asked me. You just asked me to care about a bunch of people who don't care about anything.
Versus pesky, annoying vegans online who
okay, you want to know why? Because pesky, annoying
people annoying too. I find those people annoying, some of them. I find them annoying. Guess what? I don't think they're more psychotic than violent extremist Muslim terrorists, okay? Like, I can see that those people who, force women to...
She literally supports Islamic terrorism. She's saying Islamic terrorism is justified and Israel should do whatever they say.
Wear burqas and kill gay people.
Look, I'm an anti-Semite, but why the fuck would that mean I should support Islamic fundamentalism? Retarded. Sneed.
I don't know, like, she has no thesis that she's working off of. It's literally just, I don't like what you say about this. Okay, why should I fucking care? And then yeah, she supports Islam, like radical Islam, but then claims she's not an anti-Semite and doesn't support Hamas when clearly she does. Thanks for the donation, though, Sneed.
People are obviously more psychotic than some annoying, overly cancel-y vegans.
Okay, I'll tell you
who
what
don't
then.
like me online.
Okay, you just made your case. I'll change that too. Just like I told you before, I will admit that I was a racist for putting Palestinians in the Hamas category. I'll put the radical Islamic regimes first, and I'll put intersectionalists second.
Intersectionals, vegans. I think we should go
Yeah,
before
intersectionalist
any
vegan
meat eaters,
section.
though. Like any meat eaters have to be
No,
like.
because
Yeah,
listen.
because then you
here.
after the pesky. This is how you rank people.
Okay, so you see what we're doing? We're
said
coming up with a list.
vegan-
We're gonna have the argument of the best bands of the world list. Do you really care about my
your
list?
ranking. Yes, this is your ranking that you, by the way, insisted I read. You sent this to Natalie and you said, hey,
No.
make sure your intersectional vegan friend reads this.
I
Okay,
just wanted you to read the apology. No, the apology to the Palestinians was my point. It was.
Also, I have to agree with Gary here. No species comes anywhere to being as bad as humans, and this Hamas supporting woman is just proof of that.
Well, yeah, I mean, humans are the only ones with ideology. But thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Wasn't anything else.
It was number 3.
No, number 1. Yeah.
I read 1, 2, 3. Anyway,
no, I just wanted you to read that I apologize for saying Palestinians were psychotic. That's the only reason I sent that, not for anything else.
Didn't really, though. You
Palestinians are psychotic.
didn't
I did.
Though. People can go verify for themselves what you said.
Yeah, but I swear, no.
Podcast, you
No,
said
for Natalie is what I'm saying. I sent it to, listen, I swear on every animal's life on this planet. I sent Natalie that because I knew you were going to bring up that I said Palestinians were psychotic because that's all anybody ever does. And I wanted you to see that I apologized for that 8 years ago. Everything else was just, I didn't know how to clip just the one sentence. I just clipped the whole section. It was the lead sentence. But just so you know, honestly, that's why I sent it.
People can go read for themselves. What you said was not.
Well, that's fine. But that's not why I sent it.
You did not apologize and say what I said about Palestinians wrong because it was racist. You said
okay,
what I said about Palestinians was wrong because actually intersectional vegans are crazier. That is not an apology. That is not an admission that what you said was racist.
That's kind of mean. I think that's mean of I think that's mean of you, and I think you're being awfully nitpicky. That was my sincere apology for saying. I meant that. I meant that I was sorry.
That statement. But
now you're up. See what I mean? You see what I mean? No matter what I say, an intersectionalist will never accept my apology because it won't be said right. Say it again, Gary. Say it this way. Say it that way, Gary. I don't believe you. You didn't say it sincerely enough. You said it with a smile on your face. You said it with a smirk.
I'm not claiming that you didn't say it right. I'm saying that you didn't apologize.
See, I did. Well, just so you know,
people can go judge for themselves.
Don't judge nothing. Hold up, don't judge. You're talking to me. I'm telling you that read my entire retirement letter. You read the end when I even said veganism won't save the world. Do you know how many
Kenny Donutillers, thanks for the stream. Much love, bud. It's time to bake some motherfucking peanut butter cookies at 1 a.m. That sounds based. I feel like I have ascended beyond peanut butter cookies. You know, I've realized, like, real, true happiness and joy isn't found in just simple, easy pleasures, you know, like cookies or something. It's found in acts of will. It's in between trial and triumph, and I've just been eating an extremely strict diet, being extremely strict with my training, and I've never been fucking happier. When you enact your own force of will and power upon the world and yourself, that's where you find real true happiness. So, I'm not eating cookies, but enjoy your cookies, dude. Thanks for the donation, Kenny.
Tears I was crying through that whole fucking retirement letter that I had to give up. I was trying my best to say, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that, I didn't mean this, I said this wrong, I shouldn't have done this. That whole letter is an apology. That whole thing, and that I'm that really, you know what? I'm actually wasn't hurt by anything that you've said. Any argument we've had up until now, they're valid. I see your point, even if I don't agree. I don't know if you see mine, but I was making my points. That I think that's a low blow. That is unnecessary.
I think we're kind of backtracked because Catherine had said earlier that like wasn't a sufficient apology, and I'm sure she didn't mean it as a low blow.
But it was. It was from my heart. I didn't. I told you that I was an idiot. I just told you I was an idiot. I didn't realize.
So I do actually, I can forgive people if they release an apology that is sufficient.
I just did on the show.
No. You were saying it would never be enough. But when you release an apology, you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. You can't say, like, oh, I was wrong, but not because what I said was racist, but because I think that intersectional vegans are crazier. Like, sure, you said I actually appreciate that on this very podcast, you do admit that what you said about Palestinians was racist. I accept that. That's great. I would like you to update your website to say that. But I also think that, like, it's not never enough for me. Okay. I just think that
She's saying this when Palestinians literally idolize Hitler and Nazi ideology. There's a common phrase in Palestine. The only reason Hitler didn't kill all the Jews is to show the world how wicked you are. Like she's saying this while Palestinians literally adhere to Nazi ideology. They were even working with the Nazis in the 1940s. The Mufti of Palestine was helping to recruit for the SS, and that he was trying to convince Hitler to kill off all the Jews in the territory of Palestine at the time, so that Israel wouldn't be able to be formed.
that you can't make a statement and then make a contradictory statement and be like, oh, well, I apologize. Why don't you accept my apology? It's like, well, because you then contradicted it. Like, do you
Well, let
see
me
what I'm
ask you
saying?
this. Can I ask both of you this? So what's the point of this whole thing, by the way? What's the point of our whole discussion? Is it to cancel Gary? Now is this going to go out to the intersectionalists more and say,
And on top of that, I do believe that the world will become a much better place once our worthless species dies out, thanks to people like Trump?
I don't know if Trump is going to cause our species to die out, and I don't think the world would necessarily be a better place. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We don't have all control over fate. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
oh, look what Gary did, and he's contradictory, and don't support him, still not support him, still don't share his speech. Whenever he does something, make sure you try to cancel him out. If he does a fundraiser for Sasha Farm, don't support Sasha Farm because Gary's speaking. I don't understand.
No, absolutely not. So at the beginning of the stream, I had hopes to make it very clear that this wasn't about canceling
Yeah, but you say that. What about the psycho fucking intersectionalists? Now, when they see this, what are they going to fucking say? What's the point of this? Again, and I'll say this again. Let me just clarify everything.
Well, what he should point out now, like, here, is, like, she has no thesis. Like, there's no kind of argument being made here. She's making some kind of ought statement, like, you ought not speak about politics as a vegan activist. Even though she's an intersectionalist and she does that all the time. So that's hypocritical, but, like, what's the argument? It's like, so far all she's done is say, I don't like your political views. Like, okay, what does that have to do with anything?
I was wrong for what I said about Palestinians. I was wrong. I can change my list. I don't give a fuck who's more psychotic when I think all humans are psychotic. Fine, you want to put the radical Islamists first? You win. I still got Led Zeppelin first, by the way, over fucking The Who. Okay, so who cares about the list that I made? It's a fucking list. When I hate all humans, I stand by that. Fuck human beings. I hope we all die. If there was a button in front of me.
No, never saw A Time to Kill.
Catherine, right now, if there was a button and I could push it right now and eradicate every human on this planet, I wouldn't even consult with Carmen. I wouldn't fucking call Paul Bashir. I wouldn't text Joey. I fucking press the button. I press it. It'd be done. I hate human beings and you will never change my mind. I hate human beings. You will never change my mind. Never.
There's actually a whole subset of, vegans called the button pushers. So
Yeah,
that's a pretty
I
common
would press
thing.
the button too. I just think that the difference between the red button and the genocide in Gaza is that the red button eliminates all humans and there's no suffering that ensues from that because we all just like simultaneously die. But with the genocide in Gaza, that's creating immense human suffering.
When do you think you'll hit a 500 bench? Well, I'm not entirely sure if I ever will. The issue is I don't want to tear a pec. So it would be cool to bench 500 pounds or more than 500. I think especially being on steroids, I could do more than 500. I'm pretty confident, assuming that I could avoid injury, that I'd be able to bench 500 naturally. The issue is injury risk. So if your tendons aren't strong enough to handle that weight, you're just going to snap your shit up, and I don't want to be permanently disabled or disfigured. So, I will do whatever's safe. So I might get to a 500 bench. Like, I am on growth hormone, and I'm gonna also leverage other peptides to help strengthen my tendons. But yeah, I don't know if it's going to be safe to lift that kind of weight.
Who cares about human suffering when animals are suffering?
I care for the same
Well, then
reason
go
I care
care.
about
I
animal
don't.
suffering.
I don't.
Humans are animals. The reason
No,
we
they're
care
not.
about-
Don't embarrass
Yes,
animals.
we are.
How dare
We
you?
are animals.
I will not accept
This
that.
is
I will
why
not accept that
animal
anymore.
rights-
Biology is
animal
pretty
rights is the
clear
logical
that
extension of
animals.
human rights.
No, you can say that. I will never again embarrass the animal kingdom by calling humans animals. Humans are fucking bacteria at best, and I don't even know if that qualifies. We're fucking aliens. Don't embarrass the animal kingdom by
you're
calling
fucking
humans
apes.
animals.
We're apes.
No, we're
Apes
not.
have tribal warfare and kill each other and
I don't
rape
give a
each
fuck.
other. You're-
I don't give a fuck. They ain't us. They don't have
Alright,
nuclear
guys.
weapons.
I think it's
Japs versus Nazis, $22. Who was worse, Japs or Nazis?
During World
The Japanese in Imperial Japan were at least as bad, at least. They may have in fact been worse.
War II, the Japanese had a reputation of being the worst country that you could be held captive by. In this case,
Yeah, if you're a POW, you'd prefer to be captured by the Germans than the Japanese.
torture started immediately. Surrendered American and Filipino troops are stripped of possessions and immediately shot if carrying contraband. Sick, weakened, or injured, it doesn't matter. All of the troops are organized into a march for camps that could be up to 65 miles away. As it continues, it becomes very clear that the prisoners are receiving very little food. Simple things like asking for water could get you killed, and the prisoners were even stripped and taunted with water. Anyone that would fall or simply slow down could be shot or bayoneted. Upon arrival, troops are already deathly ill. The final stages of the journey was transport in boiling hot boxcars. Whoever didn't make it were just tossed into mass graves. Almost a third of the captives didn't make it to the final destination, Camp O'Donnell. April 1942, the Bataan Death March.
Outdoors in minus 20 degrees. The devils pried open the ice and scooped out scalding ice water. Before the girl could react, they poured it directly onto her arm. The girl screamed in pain from the freezing, but because her body was tied to a wooden stake, no matter how hard she struggled, it was useless. Just when the girl was at a loss, the devils placed her baby on the ice. They cruelly stomped her baby to death. Despair surged to the girl's feet. She wanted to take one last look at her baby, but was powerless. After being outside in minus 20 degrees for half a day, her consciousness had begun to blur. But the devils, to keep her awake, dug another big scoop of water from the ground and poured it onto her arm already covered with ice. The frightened girl was terrified, but her arm had already lost all feeling. No matter how they tormented it, there was no reaction. Yet the devils still didn't plan to let her go. They then knocked off the ice blocks. As a shrill scream rang out, the devils found that her hand still had sensation, so they continued to pour water on her. After tormenting her like this for half a day, until the girl's arm was completely frozen stiff, the next second the devils dragged her into the laboratory. The naive girl thought they were going to treat her. Little did she know that the devil's experiment had only just begun. Before she could come to her senses, the devils, with just a slight force, peeled the skin and flesh off her arm, exposing the pale white bone. It was truly too perverted. But this was only the tip of the iceberg in the laboratory. Therefore, we must always remember history. Never forget the national humiliation. Only then can we rejuvenate China.
TikTok is really weird. Fuck so hot. Oh my god. Dude, I do not understand why people put the most annoying music in these fucking videos. Yeah, that's a downgrade. Thanks for the donation, Japs versus Nazis.
I also agree with Gary about that as well. I honestly wish I had an infinity gauntlet like Thanos to wipe out most of the world's population.
I don't know about most, but yeah, I'd wipe out a lot. I'm not sure if it would end up being like the majority, but it would probably be a lot of people. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo.
I got some TB500 and Rita. I take 54 milli of methylphenidate for ADHD. Should I be worried of increased heart rate if I start at 1 milligram? I weigh 220 pounds of American fat. God bless my lard. P.S. Don't be late again. We don't pay you to show up late. Bitch.
Okay, I will be sure not to be tardy anymore. Yeah, everyone responds to these drugs differently. I was talking to Dr. Avi about this. Apparently, you can get an increased rate in heart rate with any of these GLP-1 agonists. Retta and tirzepatide seem to cause that more. And yes, you can certainly experience an increase in heart rate even if you start at 1 milligram. I take 2 milligrams per week, but it's split up in 1 milligram doses. So 1 milligram Wednesday, 1 milligram Saturday. And I took 1 milligram on Saturday, and after that dose, I already had a noticeable increase in my heart rate, where when I was just lying down, my heart would be racing. So, yes, you can certainly experience that even with 1 milligram. Thanks for the donation, though, CDG Not Vegan. CDG donated $2. Let me see. Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate the donation, CDG.
Getting near. I booked 2 hours for this. I want to be respectful.
I do
Okay,
have
go
one more
ahead,
thing,
Catherine. But let's wrap
I know
up.
it's not quite okay. It's not quite 2 p.m. yet, so I wanted to talk about your statement regarding Israel being the most vegan-friendly place in the world. I would like to know what evidence you have to support this, because I could not find any evidence to support.
They have the most amount of vegans per capita. Like, what?
This, and what I did find instead was evidence that says the exact opposite. So yeah, would you like to
During my
provide
2012 and 13 lecture tour there, I converted between 5 to 10% of the entire population. That's the Israeli media reporting that for 2 years when I was
the
there.
Israeli media reported that.
The number one,
And where
the number
is
one
the
viewed
data?
speech, the number one viewed speech in the history of Israel. Guess what? Georgia Tech.
I'm pretty sure they have the most amount of vegans per capita. India has the most amount of vegetarians, but I'm pretty sure Israel has the most amount of vegans per capita.
1 in 8 people have seen the speech. It's everywhere. It's massive. It's a massive. They used to have 50,000 people. 50,000 people came out to animal rights protest over the years there. Some more. It was insane. It is the most vegan friendly by far. And yes, you know what? I'm taking credit for that shit, because that's the most fucking positive shit I ever did in my lifetime. It was insane. Why would anybody challenge? You're the first person I ever heard challenge this.
Okay, all right. So here is my argument. So I looked into this. A lot of we have a group chat, vegan friends Natalie's a part of. We all just kind of took this at face value. We believed that it was true because yes, there's reporting from multiple articles saying that Israel is a vegan capital of the world and 5% of the Israeli population is vegan. And I just believed this. But when I looked into it, what I found was that all of these articles are pointing to a single source. It's a man named Omri Paz who runs an animal rights organization in Israel. He said so. So are we supposed to just take him at his word?
That's not where it's coming from. It came from
where's it
every
coming
news
from?
outlet.
What's the data? What's the data? Yes, the media, when an article
But not
comes
from
out.
CDG donate $2. Let me see. All right, thanks for the donation, CDG.
I know Omri. I know Omri.
You're supposed to back up that claim with a source, like evidence, data.
Let's see. Country with the highest vegan per capita. Let's see. While exact rankings vary between sources, Israel is frequently cited as having a high per capita vegan population, with World Population Review reporting 9% vegans in 2025. Other countries such as India and Mexico also show high percentages of veganism, with World Population Review stating 9% veganism for both in 2025. Other countries noted for high per capita vegan populations include Canada, Ireland, Sweden, Taiwan. Taiwan makes sense. So those... Isn't this like the first thing you do? Just Google it? Like, okay. I don't know where the fuck they're getting this shit from.
I have a BA in journalism. I understand. I'm telling you, every single media outlet, contact them. I don't know. Go call.
CDG donated $2. Thoughts? Gross. Thanks for the donation, CDG.
Up all the media outlets and ask them about all the reporting they've done for the last 10 years, where they're getting it from. All I know is that I couldn't walk down the streets in Tel Aviv. Hundreds of people would stop their cars, non-vegans. We were filling up fucking arenas. We were filling up movie theaters, 500, 800, 1,000 people strong. They were standing in the streets listening to vegan lectures. It's everywhere. Domino's Pizza added vegan cheese to their menu because I was there. Still going on there. It's a massive amount of veganism going on, and their fanciest restaurant became vegan. 100. It was not. I've never heard this challenge.
Before this stream, we talked about how New York is such a vegan haven. Like, there's so much good vegan food there. Major cities like Tel Aviv, of course, they're going to be vegan friendly. But my question is, where is the actual census data?
I don't know. It doesn't exist. I give up, Catherine. I give up. I give up. You win. It's the least vegan.
We literally, like, all it takes is a Google search. World population data.
Friendly city on the planet. Yeah, nothing happened in Israel when I was there. Nothing. You're right about everything. I can't win. I can't win with you, Catherine. I can't win. By the way, everybody, cancel me. Cancel me out. Don't listen to me. Cancel my speech. By the way, I'm still going to go on. I'm still going to do what I'm doing and convert more people than any other vegan on this planet single-handedly. This isn't going to stop no matter what you guys thought you were going to do.
IRL collab stream with Darius Who.
Today. I appreciate the fact that you tried to destroy me today, Catherine. Thank you so much. I'm not infighting. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Thank you so much. Challenge everything that I ever did. Everything. Condemn everything I ever did. Go ahead.
Okay.
Intersectionalists are great. They're the most rational people around.
Okay,
oh my God,
Gary.
they're so open-minded. Human rights people are so great. I love the way they eat steak and hamburgers and say justice for all. Justice for everybody except those fucking cows. Steal their fucking babies, cut their heads off. Hey, but humans first. Poor Palestinians, the poor gay people, the poor trans people. Oh my God, you mean the trans guys can't play in women's sports? Oh, it's such an...
Carp like these woman burping videos is yet another reason to wipe out most of the world's population.
You may have a point. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Darius Destiny's autistic crash out orbiter.
Carp like these woman burping videos is yet another reason to wipe out most of the world's population.
Yes, you donated that twice, but thanks for the donation, Dodo. I don't know who Darius, the Destiny orbiter is. The guy who dated Xena and is friends with Destiny, he's in Toronto right now. Said he DM'd you on 2 different platforms, wants to hang out. Oh. Let me... Oh, that... Okay. Okay, I messaged him back. I wasn't sure who that was. Is he highly annoying? CDG donated $2. Let me see.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh, mine was better.
Okay. Alright, thanks, dude.
Injustice. Oh, human rights people are so fucking sane. They're so wonderful. You must be out of your mind, Catherine. You worship at the altar of humanity, and that's your problem. My problem is none. I stopped worshiping. I'm sane. I'm logical. Okay, and I'm not a politician. You're trying to please human rights people. By the way, come see me in 29 years. Remember this day. I will forgive you. When you come see me in 29 years after you've been shit on by the human rights people. And you too, Natalie, when you've been shit on for 29 years, you come see me and tell me you won't have the same positions. I'm just saying, you're going to have the same position I have. Come see me in fucking 29 years when nothing gets done, when horse carriages are still going on.
I will not be saying fuck human rights in 29 years.
Oh, well, fine. Then you can have a halo over your head and feel better. I feel better knowing that I hate humans. I feel better knowing that humans are the scourge of the earth, and I will continue to tell people people, and you know what's going to upset you and all the intersectionalists? That people are still going to listen to me. People still going to listen to the kid. When I start preaching, when I start inspiring, people are going to still fucking listen because I make complete logical sense when I talk about animals. And if I don't make logical sense about humans, I don't give a fuck. Let me be a goddamn out of the both sides of the mouth person then, because I don't give a fuck about humans. And nobody who follows me gives a fuck about humans.
Your credibility. You don't care about your
I
credibility.
don't. I got credibility. I got credit. I got more credit than everybody in this movement combined.
Not when you say that your personal anecdotal evidence is valid enough and that everyone should just take that.
You're right. You're right. Don't take my word. I didn't do anything in Israel. Nothing happened there.
I didn't claim you didn't have an impact on
No,
Israel.
nothing. I didn't do anything.
Okay,
No, nothing happened.
Like again, you can just do a Google search. According to world population data, population of vegans in Israel is about 9%, and it's similar in Canada and Mexico. So
one point. Can I just
No, nothing. You made your point. Israel sucks.
I'm not done making my point.
Go ahead, condemn Israel more. I know your position.
I'm not done making my point. So the media
Can I ask you something, Catherine?
No, because I need to make my point. So the media has reported that 5% of the Israeli population is vegan. Again, there is no actual source that they link to.
None.
So if that were true, I think it's rather
I don't. You like the AI Google search thing. First thing that pops up. What are they doing? Retard donated $2.
Got great tits. Alright, I got my food. Darius got no Riz with Xena around. Wrong. I'm gonna Riz. Dude, Xena's literally gonna walk out.
And then coming in at night, that's some dumb shit to fucking say for one. You weird as fuck to that.
Ah, stop!
You fucking weird as
You
fuck.
like Cheetos on the ground.
You dumb as fuck, nigga. Fuck you.
Why are you mad at me?
Matter of fact, I'm gonna unplug your fucking computer.
Don't do that. Why are you doing that?
You
Stop.
saying
Chill.
weird ass shit for
Chill.
the fucking stream. I don't play that shit, bitch ass nigga. The fuck?
Why are you physically
now I'll
assaulting
make
me?
you delete the shit right fucking now. Fucking play with me.
Dude, how could he date this chick? Is she like really good at anal or something? She seems like such a fucking obnoxious, like toxic, abusive cunt. Like, that said, who am I to fucking talk? I've dealt with that shit before. Like, it's really weird. So, like, at least Jasmine didn't hit me on stream. Like, she did physically attack me. I have some crazy stories, but like at the very least, she didn't like literally attack me and physically assault me on stream.
If you want to get stabbed, you fucking really will.
We good?
No, we not. Don't say no stupid ass, lame ass shit like that the fuck again. Cause rest assured, you pull some shit where you think I'm gonna walk out, I'll reach across and slap the fuck out of you and a bitch. And what?
Jeez. Well, glad she's in jail. Thanks for the donation, retard. CDG donate $2. Have you ever heard anyone burp like this in real life? Watch the whole 5-second burp. No, thanks for the donation, CDG.
arrogant for you to assume that you are responsible for converting the entire vegan population of Israel.
No.
That is a little bit
No, a
arrogant.
percentage of it. A percentage of
You
it.
said 5 to 10%. Okay.
And SJWS say only men can abuse women and not the other way around bullshit.
So, women actually commit physical abuse at the same rate that men do, if you're looking at heterosexual relationships. But I think that's actually, that data isn't really good. The reason for that is, when you look at lesbian relationships, physical abuse is actually more common. So I think what actually happens is women initiate physical violence, and then men, either in defense or retaliation, do it back. So then when you look at things like police reports, it ends up being equal, but it's women who are initiating it. But then when you look at heterosexual and lesbian relationships actually have much higher rates of physical abuse. I think it's like 20% higher in absolute rate. So, and I can speak from personal experience, dude. I would get into like, a silly argument with Jasmine. It could be like, I don't know, we'd argue about like, oh, why are you working again? Can't you take the night off or something? And then like it'd get into an argument, and I would see things are just getting too heated. Like we'd actually start shouting at each other, and I would say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna like take a walk. I'm leaving. She literally jumped on me and attacked me and wrestled me down to the ground because she didn't want me to fucking leave. She would also block the fucking door and prevent me from leaving if I just wanted to like cool down and like just like take a walk and like just separate from her. And then she would threaten to call the police if I tried to throw her away from the door so I can escape. Like that's the type of shit women do. And it's not just me that went through that. Like I can guarantee you women do that all the fucking time. So when you look at like data that says like, women commit physical abuse at the same rate as women, the same rate as men, I don't think that's true. I think women more frequently initiate physical abuse, and then men get into positions where they either have to defend themselves or like retaliate either sensibly or unsensibly. Like I'm sure there's dudes where like their girlfriend will slap them or something, and then they'll like, knock them out, and then that gets included in the physical abuse data. Like I don't think that's sensible to like just literally knock somebody's like lights out if you get slapped, but I obviously never did that. Like if Jasmine would hit me, of course I was the only one who acted like a fucking adult in the relationship. So she would like, she's strong too. Like she's not a weak, fragile little girl. You've seen like she's been on streams like doing workout vids and shit. I think she deadlifted like 160 pounds, 4 reps without training. Like that is actually extremely impressive for a woman. There are men who can't do that like when they're untrained. So like she's strong and she could actually hit pretty fucking hard. And again, I'm a fucking reasonable, rational adult, so I would try to like calm her down and say like you really shouldn't be hitting me and stuff. And like again, eventually to her credit, she stopped doing that. But yeah, like if things worked out differently, if I wasn't a reasonable person, that probably would have like continued on in the relationship if I was like some chimp-brained fucking idiot. But yeah, dude, the amount of times she put me in a position where she was deliberately trying to get me to like escalate things and hit her and shit. She would wrestle me down to the floor if I tried to leave. She would block the fucking door if I wanted to like leave the house or the apartment. I would even just try to go into another room and she would stop me from doing that. Like it was crazy. Like every fucking time we'd get into a fight, she'd try to escalate things, and then afterwards she'd like blame me for everything, making it worse. Like, dude, it was so toxic. I'm glad I'm out of that, anyway, but towards the end of the relationship, like there was a lot less fighting. We might have bickered a little bit, but like the really, really bad fights we had were more towards like the beginning. I'm glad I'm out of it anyway. She was still being just a horrible, toxic fucking person. I kind of learned to avoid getting into situations like that where, I've talked about this before. She'd just play video games all day and do nothing, and she'd still want me to do housework even though she's literally doing nothing. And then she's a fucking child, right? So I would end up having to do it. And then when I fucking do it, she would like She would belittle me, treat me like shit. Like, I'd do the dishes. Why are you putting the dishes in like that? Oh my God, why are you clanking things? You're doing it so loud. Like, anything I do to, like, actually contribute to the household, like, do cleaning, mow the lawn. I've shared that story before. Oh my God, you mow the lawn like a fucking idiot. Why are you doing it like that? Just constantly. And, like, I just learned to basically just, like, not... I just ended up, like, it was so bad. Because I would get into, like, these arguments with her where, you know, I would be like, yeah, I'd try to call her out on her bad behavior and say, oh, well, why don't you do it and show me how it's done? And like, obviously she wouldn't do it because she knows she's just lying and belittling me for no fucking reason. Like, she would even fucking complain about the way I vacuumed and said, I vacuum too loud. How on the fuck do you vacuum too loud? Like, she'd say, why are you banging it against the wall? Like, I'm trying to get, like, dust and shit in between, like, the crack in the wall. And then she's like, why are you banging it? Oh my God, you even vacuum too loud. So, like, I could either, you know, argue with her and create this big argument where she will never admit she's, like, being out of line and being a bitch and rude and disrespectful. And, like, I could get into an argument where I would argue with her for an hour, like, proving she's lying, I'm not doing something stupid, like, this is the only way you can do it, and, like, I could get her to a point where she'd, like, break down and start crying before she ever admitted she was being, like, rude and obnoxious and just, like, an abusive, manipulative cunt. So it just got to a point where it's like just ignore the fucking whiny, crying, like, toddler and just go on about your day. And it was so miserable just living like that. But yeah, I've been there, done that. But my mindset completely changed after that mushroom trip where I didn't need love and validation from an external source anymore. That was, like, my main issue. Like, I think why I stayed in that relationship for so long. Like, I was just horribly depressed and I didn't understand self-love. And I just realized, like, okay, I don't need kind of love and validation from her anymore. And what's funny is once I adopted that mindset, and I told her, like, look, I'm not paying for your luxuries anymore. You can be an adult and take care of yourself. You can get a job. You know, I'll still pay for the rent and the bills, but you got to pay your own weight. And then sure enough, you know, once I stopped treating her like a fucking toddler and I started treating her like an adult, oh, I kind of want to break up now. So, yeah, once I stopped being her fucking daddy, paying for everything, doing everything, you know, she just wanted somebody to treat her like a child. Oh, suddenly she wants to break up. So, you know, good. She can go and find someone else to treat her like a child and pay for all her bills and all her toys and shit. I don't care. I'm just glad I'm out of that situation.
This is why you stay single and masturbate. No problems. Also, when are you gonna spill the beans about Jasmine? Are you divorced yet? It's been almost a year. Come on, give us some juicy stuff, dude. What can she even do to you at this point? Just tell us.
I cannot confirm or deny anything. Thanks for the donation though, CDG.
Bro, 160 is half her body weight. Not that strong. Kek. And you couldn't retaliate because you a 6 feet 3 inches black man in Canada. Bro, you're getting the book thrown at you if you so much as touch a hair on your head. She could have destroyed you if you did something.
I have a friend where he was dating an even crazier psychotic bitch. This chick, I think she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I think she has more than that going on, because I've known people with bipolar disorder and they don't act like that. He was dating this chick who would have the most insane psychotic temper tantrums. For no reason, she pulled out a knife, stabbed him in the shoulder. He has this huge fucking scar in his shoulder now from it. She ended up calling the police, and she smashed her own head on a fucking table so that when the police came, she had a black eye. And this guy has a fucking knife sticking out of his shoulder. She told the police that he attacked her, and that's why she had to stab him. He got fucking locked up for 4 months before getting a fucking court date. He didn't even hit her. So yeah, and he's also like a big fucking jacked, like brown skinned dude. So the reason I didn't hit back or retaliate wasn't just because like, oh, the police, like I can't do anything, the police are gonna come. I was just thinking more of like, it doesn't help, right? Like it doesn't help to escalate the situation further and hit back and then create more of a hostile, like violent environment. So I just came in with a mindset of, she has this problem. I'll try to work things out with her like an adult and like show her this isn't the way you do things. This isn't the way you act in a relationship. And we can both be happier if you would just stop with the physical violence, like stop hitting me, stop attacking me. If I want to leave the house and calm down, like that's better than jumping on top of me, hitting me, preventing me from leaving, escalating things. And like it did help to an extent. Like she did eventually stop doing that. But as far as the like psychological abuse where she would belittle me and like, you know, just like emotionally abuse me by like just belittling me in whatever way she could, like, oh, you're doing the dishes wrong, you're not vacuuming right, you're not mowing the lawn the right way, you know, that sort of thing. That never stopped, and I could never get her to stop. So, and again, like to avoid these escalating kind of arguments and conflicts, I just had to learn to like fucking just take it. And it was, again, just my advice is, you don't need anybody. You don't need to be with someone. You don't need any kind of external love or validation from anybody. Learn to love yourself and be happy and content with yourself. And when you have that mindset, it's so much easier to like recognize when a relationship isn't benefiting you and you should just move on. If I had learned that earlier, like, yeah, I would have left that relationship a lot earlier. But I think a big reason why people stay in these kind of abusive relationships is because they haven't learned to like love themselves and just be happy being alone. And like usually these abusive relationships, they're not always bad, right? Like there's always like good times and good moments. So you kind of get into this cycle where you deal with this abuse and then you have like a few good days, and then you deal with this abuse, then you have like a few good days. But, you know, the good days are never good enough to make up for that kind of like ongoing abuse. So, you know, it is what it is. You live and learn. Nigga donated $3.
This nigga is insanely athletic and strong.
Double R with the factory rims.
That's a pretty damn good yeah, 6'1", 308. So he is tall, but for being 308 pounds, that's actually really impressive that he can dunk a basketball like that. That's actually a lot of power production. If he could get his weight down, he'd be jumping over buildings. $607, jeez. Holy mother of a fuck. Yeah, this dude's a fucking animal. This is the same guy, right? So he does like powerlifting. Was he like fatter in this? Like when I'm seeing him benching, he doesn't look as fat, and he has this like this photo. Oh, 20 years ago. Yeah, he's pretty fucking ridiculously strong. Open IPF world record. Yeah, that's impressive. Thanks for the donation, nigga.
How many years in did it take for her toxic behavior to fully manifest? How long did you put up with it before she calmed down? Why didn't you leave earlier? You could have just dated somebody else, especially when there's plenty of vegan girls in Toronto.
Well, she started, it was like right after we got married. Yeah, pretty much right after we got married, that's when she started acting like more and more psychotic. So I think she had like a mask on where she was behaving herself until she had her claws sunken into me. And then pretty much right after we got married, that's when she started acting insane. And again, I just had issues with self-love. I did not realize like my own value and worth, and I didn't appreciate myself, and I just thought I needed like love from another person to kind of feel good about myself, and that's why it went on for so long. But I've learned and grown, and I don't have that problem anymore. Thanks for the donation though, CDG.
999 quadragentillion 999 duo quadragentillion 999 unquadragentillion 999 quadragentillion 999 novembragentillion 999 octotragentillion 999 septentragentillion 999 sextragentillion 999 quintragentillion 999.
I'm gonna just skip that, but thanks for the donation, 9.
I met a chick when I got sober off heroin and I never learned to love myself or be alone, so it became all about her. It's like I replaced drugs with her and I got a hard 4-year lesson about gaslighting and manipulation. You are in a better place, my dude.
Goddamn right I am. But, you know, I'm not like bitter about it or anything. After that mushroom trip, I don't like hold on to like trauma. I don't get like PTSD from anything. Like I just move on. You know, there's people around you that are kind of toxic and just bad, and they can do bad things to you, but you don't have any control over it. You just have control over yourself, and you just have to learn to like move on and be stronger. And I don't hold on to, you know, things like I used to. So I'm not hurt or broken or anything from it. I'm just enjoying my life. Thanks for the donation, Stoic Vegan.
Okay, the media reports 5% of the Israeli population is vegan.
That was my shit, though.
Is like very vegan. But anyway,
That was my shit.
I would like to know how here's the data that we do have. Per capita meat consumption. Israel ranks number 8 in the world in per capita meat consumption, and number 1 according to
Per capita meat consumption has nothing to do with per capita vegans.
the FAO in chicken consumption, which, as you know, chicken consumption is worse because they're small animals. So it's more individuals are suffering for their consumption. So this paints a very different picture than the one you painted of Israel being the most vegan-friendly place in the world when they rank number 8 in the world and number 1 in the world for chicken consumption.
You're right.
How can something be the most vegan?
So, yeah, they have meat eaters who eat a lot of meat. That those two things aren't opposed to one another. You can have a country that ranks high in per capita meat consumption, but also ranks high in per capita vegans.
Vegan-friendly place in the world while simultaneously being the highest consumers of meat. Can you square that?
No, I can't. Israel is evil.
Okay.
Israel sucks. You're right. Go ahead. By the way, do you have anything nice to say about Israel? Ever?
No.
I didn't think so. So this is where it's really coming from. And by the way, if people that are against,
okay, I have nice things to say about
people, by the way, you want to hear something? You want to hear some
about the state of Israel?
You want to hear something
Nor
harsh?
do I have anything nice to say about the state of the United States. So
okay, so here's some harshness. If people who are opposed to Palestinians,
this chick is just a retarded communist,
are racist, people who are opposed to Israel are fucking Nazis. How do you like it? You can't dish it. If you don't if you can't take it, don't dish it. If you're anti-Israel, you might as well have a swastika tattooed to your fucking forehead.
I'm not. I didn't say that I am against.
Everything is anti-Israel. That's Nazism.
I'm not against Israelis.
No, you're a Nazi. Just say it. You lean towards Nazism.
I'm not anti-Americans. I'm anti the state.
You lean towards Hitler.
The state of Israel is what I'm against.
She's anti the state of Israel. Right. So the only modern Western liberal democracy in the Middle East, and she's against it. So you're an anti-Semite. There's no reason for her to be against a modern Western liberal democracy other than, oh, the Jews live there. So why is she not against the state of Iran? Why doesn't she want the state of Iran to collapse? Why doesn't she want Palestinians to not have a state because they're Islamic jihadists? Why, same with Jordan, same with Egypt. Why is she okay with all these Muslim nations existing that are fascist extremists, but she has a problem with Israel? It's because the Jews live there. She's an anti-Semite.
As people.
Okay, all right. So, but I'm still a racist for not being on the side of the Palestinians, for leaning towards Israel.
Well, for supporting the genocide in Gaza, I think.
Okay, is anybody who is not on the Palestinian side a racist? Because that's what I hear everywhere. You're a racist then. Because if people.
What was the thing we looked up? It's vegan cap. That wasn't the same one. World Population Review. Yeah, I'm watching more of the debate. What she said about Israel not being vegan friendly is also fucking stupid. I don't know where she researched this, but just doing a quick Google search, according to World Population Review, Israel has about a 9% vegan population, which is similar to Canada and Mexico, apparently. And she's also claiming that how can Israel have the 8th highest meat consumption per capita, but also be one of the highest one of the best countries for veganism per capita. Those things aren't diametrically opposed. So you can have a population that eats a lot of meat, but also has a lot of vegans. So what she's claiming here doesn't really make any fucking sense. You can have a high per capita meat consumption, but also have a high amount of vegans per capita.
People are racist.
The genocide in Gaza, I think that's rooted in racism. Yes.
Okay, and if you're anti-Israel, Israeli government, then it's rooted in Nazism.
I mean, you can say that, but
okay, and you can say what you want. So that's what I'm saying. This whole thing is stupid. And who cares?
I mean,
who cares?
I'm on the side of all the major human rights organizations. Okay. You're on the side of the state of Israel.
But you're on the side. You're on the side of hypocrites. You're on the side of people who fucking steal the babies of cows, pigs, chickens, and turkeys. You're on the side of people who rape animals, who are pro-rape. You're on the side. These are human rights people. These are the logical rights.
A victim does not have to be a perfect victim for me to support them in their particular oppressed people are also oppressors.
You can't be anti-slavery and pro-slave master. You're
All right,
supporting
guys.
the
I
murderers.
think once
You're
things
supporting
kind
the
of descend
murderers.
into people calling each other Nazis and racists,
I
it's
know.
probably a good time
But
to
this
wrap
is what she
the
wanted.
stream.
This is exactly
So,
what she wanted. And by the way, don't be mad at me, Catherine, because I gave you everything that you wanted to. Now, by the way, go cut up all these bits and pieces, put them all online. Gary said this, and Gary said that, and Gary called me a Nazi.
I
Yeah,
asked
Gary's
you
a
who you
hypocrite.
think
Gary
is
made up
important.
Israel. Do it,
Gary, I
Catherine.
asked
Do it.
you
Do it,
from the
baby.
very beginning.
Do
I
it,
asked
girl.
you, do you think it's important for vegan activists
Do
to
it.
be clear and consistent in their messaging? You said
Yeah,
yes.
I am.
But
I'm
you are
clear and consistent
demonstrating
with the
that
animals.
You are all over the fucking map, talking out
Thank
both
you.
sides of your mouth.
Good. Put it
All
out
right,
there.
guys.
Put it out there,
That's
Catherine.
not a clear and
Put it
consistent
out there, girl. Put it
Yeah,
out
this
there.
is
Let
very
everybody
uncomfortable for me
see.
right now.
Let everybody see, Catherine. You won. Good for you, girl. You did it. You conquered the man, the kid, the
This
legend.
isn't.
You got him. You got him, girl. You got me. Good for you. Go enjoy. By the way, I can't wait to see tomorrow's intersectionalist fucking post all over the fucking media. You go, girl. You're gonna. Are you telling me that I'm wrong? That this isn't gonna happen? You can't wait.
We're
Look at you.
not
It's
going
fucking
to cut
melting.
it up because
It's coming out of your
Catherine
fucking
can
face.
barely edit videos, and I don't typically edit
It's
my videos.
pouring
Sorry,
out of your
Catherine.
face. You can't. You're
No,
fucking
we're not going to be
ecstatic
cutting
right
it up.
now.
We can't guarantee that other people aren't going to. But I
Sure.
certainly don't intend
Post it,
to,
girl.
and I don't think
By the way,
Catherine
good
will either.
job. Good job killing my Georgia Tech speech a little more. Good job.
We don't
Don't
want
let
to kill.
people
We
hear the
love your
message
Georgia
about
Tech
animals.
speech.
Yeah,
No,
I
but
love your
no,
Georgia
this is going to
Tech
go
speech.
out there and people won't listen now. Good job. Help the humans and fuck the animals. Just, you solidified my position. Everything's got to be help the fucking humans and fuck the animals. I
That's
put
certainly
you.
not our position.
That's certainly
Fuck the
not our position.
Palestinians. Fuck the Israelis. Fuck the blacks. Fuck the whites. Fuck the women. Fuck the men. Fuck the gays. Fuck the straights. Fuck human beings. Fuck them. I hope they all die horrible deaths. And I hope the cows rule the fucking planet. Just make that the last fucking statement. Fuck human beings. Save all the animals. That's the only thing Gary cares about.
Like, by the way, if you've watched Gary over the years and know him, he gets a little hyperbolic when he gets upset. And they're just gonna, like, take this completely out of context and think, oh, Gary wants to, like, literally eradicate the entire human race, and he doesn't care if any human beings get enslaved. Like, people are just annoying.
Make fun of me all you want for my human rights shit. Fuck human beings. I fucking hate them all. Two-legged devils. Animals are the fucking holiest beings on the planet. Fuck human beings, and you're a psycho if you care about fucking human beings. A fucking psycho. 100%. 100% fucking psycho.
All right.
By the way, have a nice day. Have a nice day. Peace out. Love. Love. Hey, let's all go do yoga chants on the beach. Let's all do sun salutes. Hey, let's all put a fucking halo.
It's already being done. Read the comments. Yeah. Yep, there we go. Of course.
I love Palestinians. I love the trans people. The alphabet soup people. Oh, aren't they fucking great? Oh, and the poor gay people. And those poor fucking blacks. Oh, and the poor fucking Ugandans. Oh, you got what you wanted. You got me all fucking mad. You got me all worked up. You got me to say the shit that you wanted me to say. Now you get to go out and tell everybody, Gary is a real jerk. He's such a fucking dick. Just the stories are true. He's a fucking dick. He really does hate humans, and he really does contradict himself when he talks about humans.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to have a different type of stream where we weren't.
Well, these people don't misunderstand him. They're like, this is what these left-wing communists do. They don't care about the truth. They're all following some fucking retarded commie religious cult. So what they do is they will deliberately take him out of context and lie about him and act as though this is his, like, real position when obviously it isn't. He's just being hyperbolic. They all know it's bullshit and a lie, but they'll just go along with it and act like, oh yeah, this is his real position, because they're just fucking, like, religious ideologues.
We're just kind of agreeing with what you. I think back and forth is more interesting personally.
Yeah. So
animals.
A couple days.
We are really getting Blackpool AI videos before GTA 6.
Looking good today, Susie.
You're so sweet.
Looking good, Susie.
Hello, human resources?
I mean, that is a real thing. Thanks for the donation, though, vegan faggot. Alright, well, I think we've seen enough. So, they're just disingenuous fucktards.
Folks, I'm Dr. Mike, and I don't know anything about warfare, but these guys do. This is Vernon, this is DJ, and they get people ready for...
Yeah, okay, DJ Shipley... Okay, I thought he was a Green Beret. So, Navy SEAL, SEAL Team 6 operator.
for their best shape ever in special operations, tactics, equipment, and physical fitness. And I'm going to take the physical fitness test today to see how dog shit I am at this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure DJ Shipley takes steroids.
How fit were you at your peak? A freak. And we trained for it for 6 months. We had about 25 of us get together. We had a full-time strength and conditioning coach came in, and it looked, minus the steroids, it looked like that scene from Rocky IV when he's fighting Dolph Lundgren. We were taking blood on the treadmills. We had O2, I mean, the entire thing for 6 straight months. Running, swimming, the diet, everything we wanted to do. He put us through like little guinea pigs. Every single physical test we wanted to be able to do, we were hitting those numbers, all the timed runs, the timed swims, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, bench press, everything. Everything you wanted to hit, every single person were hitting their numbers. And we lived that thing for 6.
Let me see if I know somewhere he was talking about being on testosterone, and he was talking about taking human growth hormone and shit. That's one of the reasons why I actually decided to start taking steroids, is because pretty much all of these special forces guys are on gear. So, like, I had the misconception that steroids might be good for building muscle mass, but, like, in terms of overall athletic performance, like, they might not be great for, like, your cardiovascular system. They might not be great for mental health and stuff. But I found out all of these special forces dudes are on steroids. They're at least taking testosterone. And, like these are people who need a really high level of endurance, cardiovascular capability, strength, and they also need to stay, like, mentally calm and focused and shit. So if they're all on fucking gear, like, that's obviously, like, not true. So it was a little eye-opening to me.
I'm ready.
Yeah, he was also working with a guy who's currently an SAS operator. This guy is also on gear. They're all on fucking steroids. Like, that's why their, like, biceps and their forearms are so big. Yeah, they're all on fucking gear. Do you avoid nicotine right before bed? I've never found it affected my sleep in any, like, perceivable way. I know some people get, like, too wired on nicotine. I haven't found it actually affects my sleep in a perceivable way anyway. So if I want to take it before bed, I'll take it before bed, you know? It just helps me relax.
Warning.
I think those are F-35s. So family, we are in Virginia Beach. We're doing
setting when you're on the ground, getting pressing movements that we're going to do to the socket joint for the specialty. We work our way out with bench press. I love it for a bilateral press, getting something off of you, moving mass, pressure, being violent, using your body as a weapon.
Free floats. Oh, so when you bench, you can hear it.
Damn.
Doesn't this guy, like, he does jujitsu? That's a really bad standing long jump. I gotta look. Watch this. Dude, he has horrendous balance. That is one of the most unathletic people I've ever seen.
Every event here is based off of 3 tiers. What we're trying to do is develop a well-rounded tactical professional. We will have the first one, which is our minimum standards, what we think if you are on the SWAT team, military, things that you should absolutely be able to check the box on and hopefully be able to maintain those for as long as possible. And then we also want to constantly be pushing that needle a little bit further. So we're pushing that to our elite, which is our second level, and then what we would call our Be a Pro, which is what we are seeking here at the GBRS Performance Program. And what we're pushing for is constantly maintaining that Be a Pro status and being able to maintain that for as long as possible. When it comes to operators and guys that I've worked with, it's not just getting them into the game, it's keeping them in the game as long as possible and being able to maintain that level of physical fitness. About 70%. Load in, load in.
All right.
So that was like
nice and easy.
Okay.
For your command, right?
Yeah. I respect it. So the first test in our performance standards is a broad jump. The standard here is going for height, and then we're going +12 and +12 for Be a Pro. The whole point of this is covering ground horizontally, accelerating with a good shin angle, sprinting, moving around a room, CQB, being dynamic, and also the mobility effect of landing in the hips, being able to land into our feet, maintain the arch of our foot. Just a good expression of power, and it's something that anyone can do. You don't need a vertex to check or something, just a horizontal expression of power.
Can I take a couple more?
Absolutely.
Japs versus Nazis, Donny Tillers, would you ever apply these? What is your opinion on the CIA experimenting on Americans? Here they did spray some shit over Canada back in the 50s. Why are they allowed to get away with this? Cox beat.
3 Japanese torture techniques from World War II. Coming in at number 1, we had prisoners that were captured would have their testicles and private parts cut off and then placed into their mouths, and then the mouths would be sewn up. Coming in at number 2, we had people that were being hung, but the method that they used was very different. Prisoners would be hung by their tongues, thumbs, and then left for days or until whatever part of the body they were being hung by would basically break apart or until they would die. Coming in at number 3, they would refer to these as tests where they were examining the effects of frostbite. Doctors would freeze one part of the prisoner's body and then completely douse that limb in hot water, where sometimes the flesh would be completely stripped away, revealing only bare bone. All of this while the prisoner is still alive.
You know, it's really fucking retarded how to this day you have like dumbass fucking commie libtards talking about how the bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima were such a bad thing. Like, yeah, why do you think the fucking Americans wanted to bomb Japan? Like, they were doing this shit. Like, it's fucking retarded. What do you mean would I ever apply these? CIA experimenting on Americans, well, it was unethical and illegal. Thanks for the donation, though, Japs versus Nazis.
Yeah, absolutely. Find some rhythm, use your arms. We gotta stick our landing so I can measure it off your... Throw your arms, place your feet. We do have to stick that landing so we can measure it, though.
The best I've ever done is 9 feet 9 inches last August. That was also at 227 pounds. The NFL combined record is 12 feet 3 inches.
Yeah, I remember I've tested my my standing long jump before. I can't remember what it was. I did do a vertical leap test in high school. That was when I actually had knee issues. My kneecaps were dislocating and shit, and I had trouble training lower body, but I still got, I think it was like 34 or 36 inches. It was pretty good. But I don't know what my standing long jump was. Can't remember. Thanks for the donation, Matthew. Yeah, this is bad.
There's an athleticism requirement for that.
All right, big guy. Aggressive, big launch, violent arms. Toes down, find your shins. Put your feet there. Better. You gotta stick it, my guy.
It's like the forward momentum keeps going, I guess.
Big load.
There we go.
5-4.
It's not good.
Big arm swing. Load. Hit. 9-4. DJ had a 9-4. Mike had a 5-4.
I'll get that standard.
Ooh,
there we go.
There you go.
There we go. Look at that 5'9".
Minimum standard.
That was a very unathletic 5'9", but I'll give it to you, man. That was 5'9" nonetheless.
That's what I'm known for, baby.
That was 5'9" nonetheless.
So Mike did hit it.
Barely. What we got here is for the trap bar deadlift. We're gonna go for 5 reps. The minimum is 1.5 times our body weight for 5 reps. Elite's gonna be 1.75 times our body weight for 5 reps. And then Be a Pro, which is what we're all aiming for here, is 2 times our body weight for 5 reps.
Like, how are you feeling about this one?
About this one? Not good.
That'd be easy for me. That'd only be like, what, 410 right now? I could easily hit that with a trap bar for 5 reps.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? My attitude's like I'm still here, you feel me? But
yeah, he has like a toddler's balance. I think it's just because, well, he's like overweight and fat, and he just has this huge fucking stomach, and it's hard for him to balance.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna let DJ show you off? This pussy?
2 different things, dude. 2 different things.
Set in, pull under.
What if Canada Post delayed your sauce? Well, where I order from, if there's ever a Canada Post interruption, they just use a different delivery service, so it's not really too big of a deal. There's also another, there's 2 other sites that I could use. So if one of them were to kind of, you know, get busted or something, I still have at least 2 other sources. The one is pretty reputable. I don't like them as much though, because they use grapeseed oil for their oil for as the suspension fluid. And another one is a bit more shady. They're kind of more known for faking orals, though, not injectables. I wouldn't order something like Primobalin from them, but I would trust them for testosterone and masteron. Like, that sort of stuff is never faked.
Wedge yourself in, push. Push, hips. Push, hips.
Yeah.
Push, hips. 2 more. Up, hips. Hips. Beautiful. Great set, big guy.
Mike looks pretty strong.
I ain't never taken Trenbolone, dude.
How do you think he's gonna fare on this one?
I'm not too unconfident here. I think he might do well. This is enough traditional strength. We should be okay, but who knows? What's your body weight at, Mike?
About 240 on the scales.
Okay.
Damn. It's all real too, you know what I'm saying?
You said 240, so we're at 480?
360. Minimum.
Minimum, okay.
Stop and start, touch and go.
Yeah, touch and go. Try not to bounce just for safety reasons, but control it and back right back up.
Yeesh.
It's not rocket science.
There we go.
Hips.
There we go, Mike. There we go.
Swing in front of us. Hit the brakes right when we get to a tall position right there. Brakes.
Yeah.
Good reps. So on the trap bar deadlift, DJ hit it for 2 times his body weight for 5 reps, executed him well. Could have went a little bit more, but we're gonna save some for the rest of the test. Mike, I think he hit 1.5 his body weight. I think.
Dude, I'm surprised these people weigh so much. Like, maybe it might be because my body fat is so low right now. I think I'm like right at 10%. But I'm only 205, and like, I swear I look a lot bigger than they do. But yeah, maybe it's like a body fat percentage thing. I really like this clip. I looked fucking jacked here. I'm gonna do a workout, probably do a workout stream tomorrow morning. Or not tomorrow morning, like I guess later this morning. But yeah, dude, I am looking fucking thick. Once I'm at a lean 220, I'm gonna look fucking insane. Yeah, that was the best side chest I've ever done.
He was around 360 with his current body weight with where he's at now. Honestly, a little bit better than I thought.
Well, I don't think it's because of my legs. Like, my legs aren't tiny, and, like, their legs aren't really bigger than mine. Like, you can see my legs. They're proportionate.
So hopefully we can keep this going throughout the rest of the test.
Yeah, this is the best I've ever looked.
Easy.
It's weird. I haven't deadlifted in like maybe 8 years or something. That was a trip.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
No, I purposefully don't deadlift anymore.
Huh.
Yeah.
Lower back injuries? Just,
No, it's just for
found better
bodybuilding.
movements?
It's the fatigue isn't worth it.
Yeah.
But if I could deadlift, I would do more. That's what I'm trying to say. Performance plus excuses plus what I could have done on my best day. I'm a fucking athlete, baby.
Brother. Amen to that.
Whatever you said.
Next, we probably got the most traditional movement when it comes to the military training, a pull-up. The shoulder joint is a joint of punishment in the tactical population, whether it's come all the time we spend in the front leaning rest position, holding something overhead, holding a dip bar, pull-up bar. So just being able to be functional overhead, good movement of the scaps, good grip, good forearm strength, all of those extended long positions. Our minimum here is going to be 10 pull-ups, elite's going to be 15, and be a pro is going to be 20. We're looking for eyes above the bar and a good descent all the way down to the bottom.
All right, DJ.
Nice stud. Here we get it.
Concomitantly short. So no big deal. It's all proportional.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lats on this creature.
I don't know why, like, just constantly the dick jokes. They're just so nauseating. Every video. Are you still hitting sit-ups, ab stuff? I haven't done it for the last, like, week, because every time I do abs, I get, like, the most insane, horrendous fucking cramps. Even with taking electrolyte supplements. So I'm gonna try doing it again, like getting back into it, but like the cramping is just crazy.
3. Here we go. 4. Here we go, Mike.
5.
There we go.
6.
Beautiful.
7. 8. 9.
Get it?
10. Oh, here we go.
Nice, dude.
That's more than I thought.
It's not too bad considering his body weight.
Yeah.
Nice.
You don't do pull-ups often.
All the time.
Okay.
I do them more or less like that.
Yeah.
Like a 2-second eccentric and a dead hang.
Yeah.
It's all for aesthetics.
Which is important.
Huge.
I mean, aesthetics matter, like presence matters. When someone walks into a room, especially in tactical profession, like it'll de-escalate a situation when someone walks in a uniform and they look like they're capable of doing something versus someone that's not and everyone's like, oh, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, you do have to have tension across your stomach when you're doing any kind of pull-ups, so pull-ups, chin-ups, stuff like that, but you're not going to get as much stimulation as if you were to just do like hanging leg raises or weighted sit-ups or anything like that.
Well, now, and we joke all the time, like if there was a fire in my house and firefighters showed up and they were jacked, I'm like, yes, my dog's upstairs.
Yeah.
I've never done a muscle up, but I'm pretty confident at this point I could do a muscle up. I can do what? Last session I did pull-ups with 75 pounds for sets of 8. So an extra 75 pounds for sets of 8. Like, I think I have enough strength to weight ratio now where I could pretty easily do a muscle up. I can't do it on the bar that I have because I'd go through the ceiling.
For someone that's like pulling up their pants and walking in the house and it's like, oh my God, maybe I should go back in my house.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You remember Ronnie Coleman was a cop. Can you imagine that dude pulling you over? License registration.
Yes, sir.
License registration.
Like, you don't have to be Ronnie Coleman, but I mean, you see some of these dudes. We had them in Virginia Beach. Like, you see him on the side of the road, you know, pulling somebody over. I'm like, oh, you better hope you don't piss that dude off. Like,
Yeah.
he looks like the end goal.
Ronnie is on record saying he was looking to fight people as a cop, and it never happened. He said it never happened because every time he would show up, everyone's like, ah.
Yeah, dude. It is hilarious that Ronnie Coleman was a cop. I love that footage of him as a police officer. It's hilarious. It's pretty nutty how he was competing in Mr. Olympia as a fucking police officer. Like, dude, it's ridiculous. I think he has the world record as most fucking jacked cop of all time. Yeah, nobody's fighting this guy.
Status arrested. I take it and shove it, but
You seen him? Like, I'm gonna mess with that dude.
Yeah. Just finished the pull-ups. Mike hit 10. That is our minimum there. 10 is minimum for standard. 15's elite. 20s be a pro. DJ hit 22. Had a couple in the tank, but we still got bench press. We still got farmer's carries. We still got a run ahead of us.
Yeah, I don't know how he had a 9-to-5 job, especially when that physical while prepping. That bodybuilding prep is so fucking exhausting. It's kind of crazy how he had enough energy to do that.
Next, we're going with a farmer's weight carry for body weight. We're going for distance here. Not only is this loading our posture, our position, our grip, our stance, all the things we build on here at GBRS when it comes to building a good tactical profession, but also being able to carry that weight for a sustained distance. Often with operators or people that are in the tactical profession, you're not doing something fresh. We're doing something under fatigue. So being able to support that position for long durations of time. If we're carrying a gurney, carrying a body, carrying someone a long period of distance. For our minimum here, we're going 175 feet at body weight, or elite is going to be 225, and then be a pro is going to be 250 for distance.
There is no technique. It's not a time base. Just pick that motherfucker up and walk as far as you can. You drop it. Nope. But I will say, the slower you walk, the harder it is.
Yeah, 100%.
On you guys, same time, so we can compare you two. Why not? Let's hit it. Safely up. Let's go. Lock it in, lock it in. Good strong posture, nice and tall, nice and tall. Lock it in, lock it in, lock it in. Finish through, finish through. Good stuff, Mike. More, more, more. Let's go, DJ. Attaboy. Reset. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Most importantly, form didn't look too bad there. Stayed confident, stayed tall, no issues. Mike hit the standard, 175 feet body weight. DJ finished up a little bit further, be a pro. Now they have the great task of bringing them back.
How are we holding up in this?
Pretty standard in selection is having a horizontal press. I think very common in military selections. Push-ups, very endurance focused, obviously horizontal pressing. We also want to be able to meet something, and we want to program a training standard that we can replicate in the gym, so we're not just training for a test. Good, call there.
And after. So let's see, before I just worked out, I just had like a really, really hard life, you know? Lock it in.
Go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, stay in that rhythm. 8, 9, 10, meet the ball. Try it. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. More.
Let's go, DJ.
19.
Yep, finish up.
20.
Yeah, one more.
21.
Oh, my man.
Good enough. Get another.
Yep, good. Just showing off.
Punch him. Who said the guy?
God damn.
Who said, sir?
Excuses, man. Excuses are like a currency, except I'm like Zimbabwe. I'm printing this shit all day, baby. Scott, what fraction of the day are we out here?
25.
So I'm assuming this is like a proportion of your body weight or something?
2. Here we go.
Really? You can only do 240 for 2?
We're doing clusters, or you want to like?
No, I'm done. Was that it? Like, does it count if I do it in clusters?
No,
sir.
no.
All right. Now, as promised, excuse time. I already used a few, but I remember them. So new ones. My fucking
Flux capacitor's out of whack.
But I don't even have to say anything. Yes. Also, I just had surgery here. Leg drive. I can't use it. And to be honest, like, I'm just in a point, like emotionally, where like my ego is like pretty good. I just like don't need a bench press anymore. So that's 3.
And it's a
Mike might want to reconsider some of his life choices. Like, it's not looking good.
We tossed around a lot of ideas of
800-meter run. To be fair, I can't really run right now, but, you know.
Next, we got the 800-meter run. We wanted to have an.
I rollerblade. I'm good at rollerblading, but...
Taking the slow and steady thing serious, huh? Consistent along the way. We knew the run was going to be a thing, but he's healthy, no injuries, win.
Well, Mike might want to get in better shape.
This content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. What's up, Gym Bros? Big. Next question here is from Jay Roberts from the School Anabolic Bodybuilding Members Community. Jay asks, Paul,
do you know that channel called Veganism, which claims to be the official YouTube channel of veganism, seems like just some random guys? I've never heard of them, no. I'm also not familiar with the broccoli industry YouTube channel.
what have you found to be the optimum rep range for compound movements for leg development? It seems that some recommend doing rep ranges as high as 20 reps for squats and leg press movements, while others seem to go with the standard 8 to 12 rep range. I'm currently splitting leg training up into 2 times per week with posterior chain and adductor training on one day and a quad focus day. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how I break up my training. I have 2 leg training days where I split it up into split it up into different muscle groups. I think that's probably the smarter approach, and I see a lot of guys doing that now. What I would say the issue with going higher reps on these compound movements, like when I worked with Dante Trudell back in the day, we used to do the Widowmaker sets, he would call them. Widowmaker, where we would do 20 rep sets of heavy squats at the end of a leg workout. Holy fuck nuggets. That shit was hard. I think I got up to where I could bang out 20 reps with 405 at one point. I could squeeze it out with 405. The amount of central nervous system fatigue that you cause from doing that is days of recovery. It just
Cam, any tellers, did I already send you this one a few weeks ago?
My car's literally broken down. It's not driving.
Right, you shouldn't really be here. I'm sorry. You'll need to move.
Yeah, but I can't move the car.
Well, why are you here in the first place?
I was driving and then it broken down. I'm not necessarily here on purpose, but I'm not even like really outside your house.
Well, you are actually. And my boyfriend's going to be coming any minute.
Your boyfriend?
Yeah, my boyfriend. Yeah, he's Alan.
Alan?
Alan.
Love, my car's actually broken down. What is this, Alan?
This is Alan.
What's the problem?
This is Alan.
But buddy, my car is broken down. She said.
He's talking rubbish. It's not breaking down. It's not breaking down.
Well, he's got hazard warning lights on.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's
but-
not started.
He's talking
No,
rubbish,
it's
Alan.
not.
He's
It's
talking
not.
rubbish. Get him to move.
No, yeah.
Just press the button, see if it starts.
Look.
Don't encourage him. No, don't
It's broken
encourage him.
down.
He's talking
It's
rubbish.
broken down.
He's talking rubbish, Alan. He's talking rubbish.
What's your problem?
What might have a problem is the fact he's parked outside your house.
He's
Look
not
for yourself.
Ow.
He's not
Ow.
parked. He's
Yeah, little
broken
boy,
down.
Alan. Have you got any Allen keys, Alan?
Oh, you are funny.
He thought it was funny. Alan thought it was funny.
Can you stick up for me, please? Because he's.
But I've not done anything.
You've been a bit odd, haven't you? He's broken down.
He's parked outside your house, Alan.
He's not parked. He's broken down.
Oh my god.
Dude, like, women just love to complain about fucking everything. What a fucking dumb bitch. Thanks for the donation, Cam.
Completely trashes you. I remember walking out of the gym and feeling like I was going to die. And I know there's this bro mentality that's necessary for growth. I have found that trashing yourself with high reps on super heavy compound movements, all you're really doing is costing yourself a bunch of fatigue, central nervous system fatigue, and in putting yourself in a really compromised state as far as recovery goes. If you do a 20 rep set of heavy squats, this is a question that you need to ask yourself. Would you have been better off just doing 3 sets of 8 reps and providing a little bit heavier of a load and more stimulus? And ultimately, all right, next question here is from Paul Baxter from the School Anabolic Bodybuilding Members Community. Paul asks, I've seen a bit of content about using potassium to lower blood pressure. I add 4,700 milligrams of potassium citrate across 4 liters. I drink 3 of those liters during training and cardio. Am I doing this right? Are there any signs that I should be looking out for better blood pressure numbers? I'd really like to have a clear system for incorporating this properly. So what I've found is most bros vastly overconsume sodium and underconsume potassium. This is something I've become acutely aware of over the last couple years. And guys are using things like nebivolol and telmisartan to lower blood pressure, which essentially causes, telmisartan is going to lower aldosterone and cause potassium retention and increase sodium excretion, which is going to lower blood volume and water retention and reduce blood pressure. A lot of times you can just fix this by just eating more potassium and less salt. Most people don't have potassium incorporated in their diet. They're eating sea salt. I see this is a problem that a lot of bros have. They pound the sea salt. They're not getting iodine, so I see a lot of guys ending up deficient in T4. It's also a result from some of the PEDs that we take. But they're iodine deficient, they're potassium deficient, and they are overdoing the sodium from what I've seen. Potassium at a bare minimum should probably be 1-to-1 with sodium, maybe even as close to, 3. Injury. All right, next question here is from my friend Paul Robinson. Paul asks, planning on a full medical screening, including organ imaging, if I can speak correctly, in the coming months. What would be on your short? Alan Evans asked about blood work. Paul, what are your go-to blood panels that you prefer your clients to get as far as markers? What is important, what isn't? I have thoughts on this. Everybody loves to see what their fucking testosterone levels are. I just don't give a shit. I mean, everybody wants to have the highest total testosterone level. It just doesn't make a fuck to me. If you're on exogenous hormones, your testosterone levels are going to be high, and that total testosterone number is sort of meaningless as long as you're making progress. I just don't even measure it. I don't even have guys waste their money on it anymore. We know it's going to be high. I've yet to see fake testosterone, so that's not even really a concern with me. I'm more concerned about the things that are going to be risk factors as far as health goes. The stuff I am most concerned with is looking at metabolic health, looking at lipids. We know the cardiovascular risk is probably a very important thing to keep an eye on. We want to make sure that lipids are relatively within range, HDL, LDL, ApoB, triglycerides. That's something we want to pay a close attention to. Insulin resistance is another.
Would you fuck a Neanderthal? Humans are able to breed with them. Is it wrong to fantasize about a Neanderthal? Also, if Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan went to war, who would win? Who would you root for? Japanese girls are hot and I like fuck with them.
Germany would almost certainly win. Oh, thanks for the donation, Chris. Appreciate it. So Germany would almost certainly win. No, I probably wouldn't fuck a Neanderthal. They kind of look ugly. Japanese girls are hot, though. Thanks for the donation, Japs versus Nazis.
Another big issue with bodybuilders that we need to pay attention to. So an A1C test is probably good. They test glucose levels when you get blood work done. It's pointless to even look at it. We want to pay attention to liver values, ALT, AST, GGT is probably a better indicator for bodybuilders because ALT and AST, the aminotransferase enzymes, are going to be elevated from training. We also want to pay attention to kidney markers, making sure that the kidneys are in decent shape. Creatinine and BON are the typical ones that they use to calculate EGFR. Creatinine is going to be elevated, and most people that are training hard have body mass, increased body mass, and are also taking PEDs. Usually, like I see, most guys are like 1.3. If it starts getting up into 1.4, 1.5, we might have a problem.
I got my creatinine tested. It was elevated, but I also take high amounts of creatine. It's not really a marker for kidney disease. It's more of a like muscle metabolism thing. What was it at? Creatinine. Wait, why am I not creatinine? Yeah, 60 to 110, and I was at 114, just slightly out of range.
BUN is elevated in every single person that's on PEDs. Blood urea, nitrogen. If you're eating a ton of protein, there's going to be more nitrogen content in your blood, so it's just elevated in everybody that uses PEDs. So that sort of makes the standard EGFR calculation irrelevant for us in a bodybuilding community, but we do still want to pay attention to our kidney health. So cystatin C score is probably important. If you want to save money, the cystatin C test is usually expensive. You can see what the EGFR is. If creatinine is above 1.4, I tell guys, man, you got to go get a cystatin C test done. Let's see where it's at. You can also get a urinalysis done to see if there's any protein in the urine. It's super cheap. They're like $40. That might be a cheaper alternative. But if you have the money to burn, I would get a cystatin C test. I go back and forth on C-reactive protein. Guys that train hard tend to have elevated C-reactive protein. If you train hard in the last couple of days, you're going to have slight elevations in C-reactive protein. Everybody's worried about their growth hormone being fake, and they're getting IGF-1 levels tested. I just don't even fucking care. If you're growing, who gives a fuck? I find IGF-1 levels to be sort of irrelevant as far as muscle growth goes, and they're transient.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. There are people who take extremely high amounts of human growth hormone, like 18 plus units per day, and their IGF-1 is normal, but they grow like crazy on growth hormone. And then there's people who have the opposite, where they're taking very high doses. They also have very high IGF-1, and they don't grow much. There's probably a number of different like byproducts. It's not just IGF-1. When human growth hormone gets converted into IGF-1, there's also other anabolic byproducts that are created. So who knows? What matters is, you're making gains.
In nature, when you're on a diet, you're in a caloric deficit, they're going to be lower. If you're in a surplus, they're going to be higher. If your estrogen's higher, they're going to be higher. I've honestly have seen zero correlation between increased growth and IGF-1 levels. I just haven't seen it make that much.
Not sure if you reviewed this. Wooked you up your creatine?
I've taken the classic 5 grams of creatine a day for over a decade. If I'm being honest, I could never tell if it was doing anything or not. Have no real change in stored creatine or performance. And recently, a few new studies came out. The latest research says about creatine and why harder, get 1 or 2 more reps, hit that like button, are associated with better short-term memory, improved reaction time, and less mental fatigue, especially in people who are sleep deprived, on a plant-based diet, or under high stress. And here's something most people to 10,000.
Well, I've been taking 15 grams of creatine per day. I'm not taking 20, but I am taking 15. Maybe I'll take 20. But my creatine intake is higher. Thanks for the donation, though, Alan.
Much of a difference. I know there are people that are obsessed with finding out what their IGF-1 levels are, but ultimately it seems to be localized IGF-1 that matters more, and the only way we can test that is through a muscle biopsy. So if you wanted an indicator of how well your growth hormone is working, sure, a systemic IGF-1 test can give you some clues to that. Probably a serum GH test would be a better one for that, because I've seen plenty of people on high growth hormone that have low IGF-1 levels. See Liver King. That was probably a result of his PED use and not eating carbohydrates, would be my guess. The guy was that's probably why his IGF-1 was low on 20 units of growth hormone or whatever the fuck he was running. But those are sort of the core ones. All right, next question here is from Matt LeBlanc. Matt asks, running GH with MK677, what are your thoughts and opinions on this? Yeah, you're wasting your money. MK677 is just going to marginally increase your natural growth hormone levels. Why would you take it if you're already taking exogenous growth hormone? It's sort of pointless. It's sort of like... Next question here is from Corey G. Corey asks, thoughts on 1 milligram of Retta a week instead of insulin to modulate glucose in an off-season setting while using GH. I mean, yeah, that's what bros are doing right now. Retta works great at increasing your natural insulin production, increasing insulin sensitivity, affecting glucagon, lowering lipids, all these other downstream effects. Now, there is some evidence that GLP-1s cause muscle loss. I would suspect if you're a bro eating plenty of protein, having GH, other PEDs in play, that your risk of losing muscle while using retatrutide are pretty low. Probably decrease in gastric emptying and action. All right, next question here is from George Peterson. Big Paul, what influencers do you consider good info? What do you watch on YouTube? What people provide good information, safety, while balancing safety and efficacy that you provide? I've seen you mention Vigorous Steve, but who else do you recommend besides resources that draw from general PED knowledge, diet, training, etc.? What channels are worth researching? I'll be honest with you, George, I don't really watch YouTube much anymore. I really don't consume social media or history. I like history a lot. Listen to a lot of history lately. I think Kurt's kind of
fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all the earth. But if that's true, then it's all the more reason why we have the moral right to eat animals. Hamburgers don't just taste good, they are also ethically good. Today for our Daily Cancellation, we have an article in the Financial Times from a vegan writer by the name of Henry Mance. Henry is trying to deal with a question that for him is quite woeful and tragic. For the rest of us, it's cause for celebration, or at least maybe laughter. The headline, Why the Vegans Lost. And as you can see, the headline is accompanied by a little cartoon of a balding man on a park bench cuddling with a bottle of milk while a carton of oat milk looks on, sad and dejected, because apparently this anthropomorphized carton of oat milk wants to have its insides poured out and consumed by the bald guy, which is, raises all kinds of strange psychological questions that we're not going to get into. But the question of concern is the one in the title. Why did veganism lose? Even the vegans are now willing to admit that they lost the battle. Veganism failed. Nobody wants to be
vegan. I don't know what metric he's going by.
Vegan. Nobody likes vegans. However, she decided to turn vegan. Medical staff were skeptical until her statistics proved better than ever. Today, her only regret is not changing diet sooner. Such stories have become rarer. Veganism was once the biggest food trend. Now the zeitgeist is elsewhere. Google searches for the word vegan rose steadily after 2010 aren't just falling. In fact, reports suggested that the company Beyond Meat is going bankrupt. Now, they've since denied those reports, but the fact remains that things are going very poorly in the world of disgusting plant mush shaped to look like delicious meat products. Why are they going poorly, though? The question was just posed, what went wrong? Well, the writer spends precisely one sentence on the fact that vegan food products perform poorly in blind taste tests. Then
they don't.
He moves on from that and starts complaining about fickle food trends and the fact that, quote, governments never intervened to help plant-based diets starve and put that poison into our mouths. But why are we so opposed to vegan food? Well, Henry Manso of the Financial Times finally settles on the real answer. Quote, even with all the above, the retreat of veganism wouldn't have been possible without another ingredient, the decline in idealism. Not long ago, liberals in particular were prepared to make sacrifices in the hope of a better society. Faced with overwhelming bleakness, COVID, Ukraine, high energy costs, Donald Trump's re-election, Gaza, they've lost faith. They understandably wonder if some month mega hamburger, and we say, I would eat it, but I'm just so fat, but the diet is so repugnant.
Whatever.
Debates, especially in the comments, is in assuming that likely not natural is the same thing as definitely not natural. Weeks to months from back in the day, Mr. Jeff Nippard released a video which was incredible, and it was titled How to Look Enhanced Without Steroids. What he did in the video is he profiled a few folks that have way more muscle than average, have incredible muscle shape, are very lean, but testing, direct blood work shows that they are, at least at the time of filming, drug-free, or very likely to be drug-free. Highly recommended, incredible video. You're going to learn a ton, as always with Jeff Nippard's videos. And then the controversy. Why controversy? A lot of the comments folks in Jeff's first video got really upset, mostly because of their incredulity about the claimed natties actually being natty. In other words, the people that Jeff Nippard said were drug-free in the video, especially the sort of three standout athletes, a lot of folks just couldn't buy it. They weren't going to believe it. And one of the main things that people cited in their comments was that the fat-free mass index, roughly how much lean body mass you have divided by your height or per your unit height, was very high for some of these folks. And they're referencing a piece of research, the Corey paper from 1995, that shows that after a 25 on this FFMI fat-free mass index scale, anything at 25 or above, as interpreted through this paper, is likely to be using drugs. And some people interpret this as a research-backed natty max, like anything over 25 FMI and you're on drugs is how folks interpret that. And Jeff made a reply to these comments and made another video, a controversy reply video. And that video is also amazing. I highly recommend it. Let's talk about a part of that video in the 25 FFMI natty max. What I have for you right over here next to me right now is a graph directly taken from Jeff's response video, and the video is called Addressing the Controversy. It's a phenomenal video. Go watch it ASAP because you'll get a way, way deeper understanding watching that whole video. But this graph appears at roughly the 6:26 minute and second mark, and this graph is incredibly, incredibly illustrative and is going to help you understand the natty max situation way better than if you just intellectualized it. This graph is a top-down view of all of the fat-free mass indices, how much muscle per height every single participant had in both groups of the 1995 Corey paper. On the left side are people who said they weren't using steroids, and on the right side are people who were using steroids. And as you can see, these are basically bell curves as viewed from the top down. Sort of. The steroid users, you can see on the right-hand side, is definitely bell curve shaped. just one dude there who has like somewhere under 20 fat-free mass index and one dude who has over 31 fat-free mass index. A couple people clustered close. Most people in the steroid group had around a 25 plus or minus fat-free mass index. And so that shape, big bulge in the middle, Scott, big bulge. And the tails winnowing out towards the ends is what you expect large sample sizes to generate when a distribution is, or a sample size is, most of the people are clustered around, something like, 21. A questionable muscle size is very normally distributed. We've seen this with every other time to go to the next level and use drugs. Guys, that's what I did. That's what a ton of my friends did. That's what a lot of people in the industry do. It doesn't explain everything, but it does tell us that, there might not be anything crazy magical happening at 25 FFMI, other than right around there is when most people who have the genetics to get to 25 go, well, shit, if I got this big drug free, I might as well go for the moon and get on drugs and do all that other crazy stuff. So those two things together tell me that almost certainly over 25 FFMI is possible drug-free. And in fact, that's not just a speculation, because we have direct research on sumo wrestlers and on football players, American football players, that have multiple damn near confirmed natties. And I mean many, many, many examples of people who are almost certainly drug-free that have fat-free mass indices of over 25. And you can look up this research anytime. Just go to ChatGPT or go to Gemini or any AI and be like, hey, is it true that some...
I don't know why you'd say, football players. Dude, the amount of football players that are on gear is just fucking crazy. They're all on fucking steroids.
Sumos and football players have been spotted in the literature to have FFMIs over 25. It's going to cite the actual studies for you. You can click through them and see it for yourself. So the fact...
The sumo wrestler thing is fucking stupid. How in the fuck are you going to know how much lean body mass they have? It's... You can do a DEXA scan, but what fucking sumo wrestlers are even fitting in the DEXA scan? So you're only doing a scan of half their fucking body, and then you have to do a calculation, a rough calculation of, okay, then we'll double it. And it's not actually telling you how much muscle mass they have. It's just an estimation of lean body mass. And since they're always in a caloric surplus and shit, need a ton of sodium and crap, it you don't know how much of that is actually muscle or water retention and crap. So it's just bull crap. The sumo wrestler thing is fucking stupid.
That a 25 FFMI is possible drug-free is actually itself literature confirmed. It doesn't just require the inference we did, but with inference plus literature, we can be almost 100% sure, very close, that people do exist with 25 plus fat-free mass indices, completely drug-free. And here's the real kicker. People got really upset about this, but the fact is that a lot of the folks in Jeff's videos had a 25 or plus FFMI drug-free. That does not mean they were secretly on drugs. In fact, they were probably drug-free. But here's where, Scott, where are we in the controversy? The second controversy breaks out. One of the gentlemen profiled has an incredible physique. His name is Hussein Farhat.
Yeah, so no one's really debating that the guy was, quote unquote natural when he did this video. The issue is people don't believe he's a lifetime natural. And you can look at his rate of progress, and there's a lot of fishy things going on. Rate of progress, the fact that his gynecomastia got worse, even though he was 19 when he started lifting, which is extremely unusual. And he looks better. Over a year ago, and he only posts photos, on his Insta from a year or two ago. And when you look at any kind of photos or videos he makes recently, he looks smaller and less defined, less hard, less good than he looked a year or two ago. So if he's natural, if he's been natural this whole time, why is his physique going down? It's a little strange.
I'm trying to do my Arabic pronunciation, which is really bastardized Russian because I'm actually Russian. Understanding. I've trained with him. I've trained him. Jared and I trained him. It's on video. Maybe we'll throw up a clip here. And he's out of this world in real life. Just unreal jacked shoulders and arms and all that cool stuff. Hussein was in the video. It was confirmed natty, but Jeff took a lot of heat because understandably people were on drug-free people with exceptional genetics and everything in between. My bet, if I had money, I wouldn't bet a lot. Hey, the Judaism won't let me bet any money. What are you guys, crazy? My bets are the stock market. Hey. I think Hussein is likely drug-free. Yes, I do. Yes, I actually think that. By the way, if Hussein wasn't drug-free, he's documented doing a drug-tested show like months ago.
He never got tested. Yeah, he did a drug-free bodybuilding show that never did any drug testing.
And crediting Mr. Greg Doucette with all of the success of coaching. I don't suspect he would just come out and say, I cheated at this show. That would be crazy. Hussein's a good guy. I don't think he's going to do that. And so here's the really interesting part.
Is there a reliable way to lower testosterone before a testosterone test? Yeah, don't sleep. And eat a lot of food, particularly carbohydrates and fat. Also, exercising immediately before will also bring down your test. So if you're sleep deprived, eat a bunch of carbs and fat, and do a workout, then your testosterone is going to be lower. Also, if you test it later in the day, that also helps.
That helps me make my point about Hussein really being drug-free. And this is very probabilistic. I think there's an over 50% chance, likely, that Hussein is drug-free.
He's probably not a lifetime natty, if I had to guess.
But I'm not saying it's exceedingly likely or very likely or almost certain. It's not 97.
Bro.
Yeah, man, just muscle shape, bro. Because, muscle shape somehow has changed.
My advice to you is don't bother going to a TRT clinic or going to a doctor. Find a good UGL. Doctors are fucking idiots, and they think they know better than you, and they think they can run your life. They're just a roadblock to your success. So they just get you to do stupid shit. They won't prescribe you the actual drugs you want or need, and they're just all fucking idiots. I wouldn't bother. Buddy, like, my friend went to 3 different doctors who all refused to prescribe him TRT, even though he was severely hypogonadal. And I think he had to go to 2 TRT clinics. One was like fucking stupid. The other one was at least more sensible. The TRT clinic he's at right now are telling him not to inject daily, which is fucking stupid. And they're giving him a testosterone and an enthate cypionate mix. It's either that or they're giving him Sustanon, and I have to talk to him and ask if it's Sustanon. Sustanon's fucking stupid. But they're only getting him to inject once per week, and he's getting a bunch of side effects like acne. And I keep telling him just inject fucking daily. So like they just get you to do stupid things. He also got a high blood pressure, and I think they put him on a beta blocker rather than an ARB. Like they're just fucking, everyone's an idiot, dude.
By steroids. It's not, you guys. How come my muscle shape sucks? I've been on steroids half my life at this point. So
yes, that's the case everywhere. You can't legally get testosterone without a doctor. That's why you get it illegally. Like why wouldn't you buy it illegally? Like, just because something's against the law, who fucking cares? Like, you can either follow the law, or you could be smart and not be an idiot who gets fucked over by the medical system. It's all a fucking racket. Police actually enforce... What country in Europe are you in?
Why do niggas always talk about how bad Germany was but never Japan? I see this shit all over TikTok lately. Does China want revenge? They were as hard as a nerd's cock in a strip club.
I can guarantee you it's because the Chinese Communist Party hates Japan. Jesus. Did they really do that? The fuck?
你们要努力学习，尽快掌握技术。下196度速冻实验。
Yeah, that's absolutely unhinged. I don't know why it's not talked about as much. No idea. But yeah, Japan was at least as bad, if not worse, than the Nazis. Thanks for the donation, dude.
That part's not even controversial. Hussein's not even jacked enough to make the natty, not natty cutoff. What he does have, and I've seen him in real life, is absolutely redonkulous arm and delt genetics. And here's where racism's going to come in. You guys, Arabs are gods at bodybuilding.
They're not.
Half of Lebanon is a IFBB pro.
It's not.
This guy, I forgot. Where is Big Ramy from? Was it like the...
He's from Egypt. This is like one of the stupidest things he's ever fucking said. There's a disproportionate amount of IFBB pros that are black. So they have like African descent. And you can look at the Mr. Olympia winners. Again, there's a disproportionate amount of black Mr. Olympia winners. Where are the Arabs? Like, if they had God tier, you know, they had God tier genetics for bodybuilding, why aren't you seeing more Arabs? I know there's Samir Banut. I don't know if he's even Arab. Is he Persian or Arab? Lebanese. Are Lebanese Arab or Persian? Many Lebanese primarily identify with their distinct Canaanite, Phoenician heritage and blah, 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 influenced by Arab culture. Whether one considers them Arab depends on what one defines as Arab. I don't know. Lebanon's considered an Arab country. Language is Arabic. Okay, I guess they're Arab. Yeah, there's Samir Banut. And then there's what? Howdy Chupon and Big Ramy. I don't know if Egyptians are considered Arab. I'm not sure. And what's his name? Nasser El Sambadi. I think he's half Egyptian. But it's just kind of weird. Like blacks clearly kind of have an advantage in bodybuilding.
Was it the Polynesia? Was he from Sweden? Big Ramy. Oh, it's from Egypt, right? And if you think about it, Big Ramy stepped on stage at 315. What do you guys think he was drug-free if he had a natty max he maxed out? I legitimately think Big Ramy could have stepped on stage at 230 pounds, drug-free, lean. And we only have to explain like 85 pounds of muscle gained with steroids.
Oh yeah, Rolly Winkler. What's his ethnic background? Krakoan? Island country within the Kingdom of the Netherlands, South Caribbean Sea. So that's not Arab, that's like South American.
Scott, you've been around drugs a bit. Is it dependable to gain 85 pounds of muscle from steroids?
I mean, that's crazy.
We're pretending it this way. I want to tell you that's possible, but it's highly unlikely. So they get minimum. Big Ramy could have been 230 on stage, which would have been like the best natty pro bodybuilder of all time, which is he's one of the best pro bodybuilders, period. Of course that makes sense. Ronnie Coleman was 215 or 220 pounds on stage, damn near verified drug-free. So was Kai Green. And these guys, oh, there's no way they were drug-free. After they started drugs, they all gained like 50 or 60 pounds of stage weight. So what kind of drugs were they doing before then? Did they start the real magic super drugs? The shit doesn't add up. So my best bet is that Hussein just has unreal, godlike Arabic genetics.
He, in all likelihood, did like maybe 2 cycles of either a SARM or oral steroid and stopped because he was getting side effects. If I had to guess, I think that's more likely. The rate of progress he made, the fact that his gynecomastia got worse, the fact that he isn't making any more progress after not really lifting for very long, his physique, if anything, has actually regressed. And that video he made with Greg, where he like fake quote unquote admitted to taking steroids. It's not just like a joke, like, haha, yeah, whatever, I take steroids, lol. It's like gaslighting. That video was intended to make people question reality and like give up on the idea of trying to prove that this guy was like taking anything. If he just wanted to make some joke about like, you know, oh yeah, plenty of people are calling me fake natty, he would have said something like, oh, buy terkesterone. It's just like steroids. I'd know because I've been on both. Lol, JK. That was just flat out fucking gaslighting and manipulation. It's very odd behavior for somebody who's natural. So those factors combined, I think in all likelihood, there's a greater probability that probably did either SARMs or some oral steroid cycle for like, let's say 2 to 4 months, stopped, and then maybe did it for another 2-4 months at some point, stopped, and just continued training naturally.
And worked his ass off for a few years, trained the living shit out of especially his arms and delts, which are his way stand-up body parts, which proves another point of mine while I'm on my stupid egotistical high horse. Scott, what do we always say in this channel? Big delts and arms are the answer to every single question in life.
Oh, yes.
I give you Hussein Farhat. You want to look like Hussein. And the number one reason you want to look like Hussein is because people won't believe you that you're drug-free, which is the biggest possible. Scott, give me a better compliment about my jackness than to not believe I could possibly be natty. Go.
Nope, that's it.
That's it. That's the one. So I think that's what's going on. Was his fake natty idea a good one? Guys, you know, sometimes shit that seems cool just doesn't hit that well. People get really confused in real life, and you thought...
Yeah, it was stupid. Again, why would he go to that length to like stop people from calling him a fake natty? It's just very suspicious. So, you know, here's my take on this. If you're going to put out a video where you lie about being on steroids and then you say, oh no, I'm not on steroids. Well, okay, you're a liar. We can't trust you. So if you admit to lying about that, then all right, you're a liar. Why would we trust you about anything? So you're on steroids, sure.
Trenbolone, okay? Trenbolone. So you got Trenbolone. Most of it is, I think most of it is overcooked because the way they make steroids is they get the active ingredient, the raw powders from China, Trenbolone N-tate, Trenbolone acetate, and then there's like hexyl, blah, 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 the parabone ester, okay? And then you mix that with with whatever carrier oil you're going to use, grapeseed oil, cottonseed oil, MCT oil. And then you mix that with, and then you can make that into a solution with benzyl alcohol and benzyl benzoate. Okay. And then apparently it's so, I heard this one chemist, or I don't know if he's a chemist or steroid cooker. He says you don't even need to put that in the microwave, but that's with him. That's him. And I've never made anything. Okay. But generally what they do with all the other things like testosterone and DECA and whatever, they mix all that stuff up and then they put it in the microwave and then that creates the solution. And so if trenbolone doesn't even need to be put in the microwave, then you're overcooking it. And I think that's a problem with lots of them because the shit is really dark. Okay. And it's going to be darker than testosterone just because that's the nature of it. But I think that's a reason why it causes post-injection pain. And if you get a lot of post-injection pain, your gear's probably bad. Because I switched from...
I haven't been getting any post-injection pain at all from the testosterone I'm on. They're using cottonseed oil. 0 post-injection pain. I don't even feel like I injected anything after I pin. Like maybe just from the needle for like a minute, like I'll feel something, but like after that, it doesn't even feel like I had anything in my shoulder.
One gear source here in Canada that went out of business and likely due because their gear's overcooked or they're using too many solvents or it's contaminated, the oil is contaminated or oxidized. And I switched to like the most reputable underground lab in Canada and I get a little bit of discomfort, but nothing like before. So anyways, trenbolone, when you do your first shot of trenbolone, you're not going to feel anything because that's the nature of steroids. It's not like shooting meth. I've never shot meth, but I've watched movies, and frankly, I've never even been high. But if you generally they shoot that right into the bloodstream, so you feel that immediately. Or if you snort something, it goes right into your bloodstream. But steroids don't work like that because you inject them into your body, and then the lipases break down the oil, and then the esterases will cleave off esters. Or cleave off the carbon atoms, and that's slowly releasing the drug into your system. And so longer esters have more carbon like links in the chain, and so they're released more slowly into the body. But if you get trenbolone acetate, for example, you'll be feeling that after about 2 days. Okay, and so maybe a day, maybe 24 hours, maybe 36 hours. It also your metabolism and your metabolism and your body's affinity to certain esters or carrier oils will affect those things affect your metabolism. And so you could absorb it slower or faster depending on your metabolism. Trenbolone, you're probably going to, it's going to be sweet in the gym. Okay. Cause testosterone, you take that and it makes you this angry. Trenbolone makes you this angry. I think it's overblown how much angry you get from it. But that little extra aggression there, every little bit counts. And so you're going to feel pretty good in the gym, but for the rest of the time, you're probably going to feel like shit. And at the start, you're going to be feeling, you're going to be really fucking horny.
What do you feel about limiting the population to 2.5 billion, 50% of the land conserved? I think there's too many people. You don't need to do anything to reduce the Earth's population. It's just going to happen naturally. People aren't having kids, so... yeah, there's a lot of people who are talking about, like, forced sterilization and shit. People don't have to be forcibly sterilized. They're just not having children. So that's just going to happen naturally.
Horny, but then eventually your prolactin builds up because it's I don't know, it messes around with the progesterone receptor. And that raises prolactin. I think that's how that works. But maybe that's not how it works exactly. But your prolactin does go up, and then eventually your sex drive goes down, and your erections do the same. Okay. You still have your aggression for the gym. You don't need an erection in the gym. Hopefully. What kind of gym are you going to? So what the hell else are you gonna do? Oh, so you're gonna you're gonna try and sleep, and then you're gonna sleep for about 3 hours, and then you're gonna wake up and you're not gonna be able to fall back to sleep. Maybe you're lucky and you do fall back to sleep, but when you do wake up, you're going to be in a pool of sweat. Okay, it's not necessarily a problem. The important thing is sleeping. Who cares about sweating a lot? Sweating is good. That's how you get out toxins. Well, one of the ways. And Trenbolone is probably the most inflammatory injectable. Although that could be just because it's lots of the gear's bad because people overcook it. And so if you take the enanthate ester and it messes you up, like it ruins your sleep, then and then you stop it, your sleep's still going to be shit for like another week and a half. So I originally took enanthate because you get 200 milligrams of tren per 1 milliliter. Although it's not 200 milligrams of tren, it's about 140 milligrams of tren per 1 milliliter. And Trenbolone acetate is about 87 or 88 milligrams of tren per 1 milliliter, but it gets out of your system really fast. And so when you come off that, you're also going to lose a lot of your fullness because Trenbolone is the best, in my opinion, the best steroid for nutrient partitioning there is. That's why it's one of the reasons. That's the main reason why it's really popular, is because it gives you the aesthetic effect, especially if you're using Trenbolone acetate. It happens fast, and it makes your muscles feel like fucking rocks. So you're going to be, all of the nutrients that you're eating are going to be going into the muscle, right into the muscle, like Tony Huge says, but for real. For the most part, don't eat, if you're going to, don't try and go too far. Don't start doing the Krispy Kreme diet. Okay. If you can get away with that, whatever, but I still don't recommend that because it's so fucking unhealthy. But anyways, lots of that's going to be going to the muscle and you're going to feel super full, and that's good for the gym. But if you have to do an
Fertility, cuckold, donators, why do you think people are having less kids? Give a few reasons for this. And also male loneliness. The relationships are a lot less, and I want like a few reasons and what we can change or not change. It just naturally happens when people become wealthier. There's like some socioeconomic things going on, so when people are poor and they're living more off the land and they have to like manage a farm, it's just a very practical decision to have kids because you need kids in order to manage like a farm property or do agriculture. When people move into more densely populated cities and they have more specialized jobs requiring education, they just end up having less kids. There's probably also some other social things going on where women are all watching TikTok and they're becoming fucking retarded, degenerate idiots who are spoiled princesses, and dudes don't want to fucking deal with it. There's retarded, dumbass marriage laws where men know that it's just going to lead to them being broke and poor, and they can easily get their kids taken away. So there's literally no point in having like a long-term relationship with women anymore, and everyone's figuring that out. And life is just too expensive. So cost of living is just going up like fucking crazy, and people are kind of focusing more on being able to pay rent and bills than having kids starting a family. Thanks for the donation, though, Fertility Cuckold.
Other things, especially if you work manual labor, then you're going to be super pumped and have fun having a calf pumps and a lower back pump when you have to do manual labor. So, it makes you fill up so easily from it. I remember I gained about over 10 pounds. I was doing like I can't even remember, but I gained 13 pounds in 1 week using Trenbolone. Okay, I just upped my calories.
Jeez.
And then everything was super full. It wasn't any good for working because I felt like shit. I couldn't wait for it to be done. My calves are going to explode. My back's on fire. Eventually, the pump gets so bad that the muscle is just numb. And then the way that affects your VO2 max, I don't know exactly what the mechanism is, but it ruins your VO2 max. And so if let's say you do 20 rep squats, you're going to be gasping for air at the end. I remember I did a deload, and for some reason I guess the trend, I think it takes a while when you're on, after being, you have to be on tren a little bit for a little while before it ruins your cardio. Because I was probably on it for a month, and then I did a deload. So my best set for 20 reps was like 455 for 20 reps. And then I did a deload. I went down to like 390 or 396. And I finished the set. And then I was like, and usually each breath will make you feel a little bit better, but it wasn't coming back. Or it wasn't, I feel like I was going to die. I'm like, okay, I'm dead. It's like the same thing with it's the same sort of feeling with the tren cough, because you get the shot and then you feel a tickle in your throat, and then you like, then it just builds up, and then you're just hacking. You're hacking up. It's like a dry cough for about 2 or 3 minutes straight, and there's no relief for that whole time.
You have any favorite bands? Not really. Like, usually with most bands, I only like one of their songs, but Rammstein would probably be my favorite band, because they just have more songs that I like out of any band.
You feel that, once you realize, after the first time it happens to you, you're like, okay, it doesn't kill me. I'm not going to die. It just sucks. And those are the main things with tren. People say there's like...
if they just legalized steroids and allowed these drugs to be like researched and shit, we'd have better steroids that are like safer and more powerful and shit. But yeah, everyone's just a fucking idiot, so
I guess it depends on your personality. If you're already low empathy, then that's probably not good. But I didn't feel a coldness. I mean, there's anger. There's anger. You'll be more, but testosterone will do the same thing. There's you're going to be maybe a little more irritable. All steroids are going to do that to you. I think the rage is overblown, or maybe people just they've never used a high dose of testosterone. Maybe it's just me. I'm naturally laid back. Although, if I'm getting if I get set off, I'm a head case. But I think most of the aggression gets taken out in the gym, assuming you're training right. Don't do pump workouts. If you're doing pump workouts, just throw your money or just waste your time. That's good. That's good. Rich Piana shit. My brother does a good Rich Piana impression. He's like, he's doing some kilo crossovers with like 30 pounds, and he weighs like 290 pounds. He's going, my 8-hour arm workout. I wonder if he's using fake plates for that too. Fucking douchebag. Why do people like that guy? He has fake muscle. He lifts fake weights. Anyways, maybe that's a hot take. You're not allowed to disrespect. First of all, people say you're not allowed to disrespect the dead. Those aren't lies. And then you're also, he's like a god in the fitness industry. Sure. Fake muscle, fake weight. Sure. Anyways, I don't recommend using tren. But it's your life. I don't recommend using steroids. Tren's going to make you all in because it shuts you down really hard. Just like DECA, the 19-nortestosterone steroids, the 19-nortestosterone derivatives, DECA, tren, MENT, check drops is in there too. But who the hell uses check drops other than power lifters? You can only use that for one. Those are so toxic that you can use them maybe a few times a year. Bodybuilders don't use those, as far as I know. Those things shut you down really hard. And so let's say you want to pull the plug, your test is going to be tanked for a long time. And so if you have acne, it'll probably exacerbate that a bit too, because you'll increase inflammation. So, inflamed acne is not very comfortable. And, what you're going to probably have to increase your micronutrient intake, because another problem is cramping. And cramping is generally a magnesium deficiency, because that's what I had the first time I went on steroids. The first time I went on steroids, I did a high dose of test.
Maybe that's why I'm getting the cramping in my abs. Might want to try supplementing magnesium.
And I eventually bumped the tren to 600 milligrams. 600 milligrams of trenbolone and enthate per week. And I wasn't doing the micronutrient thing. I wasn't taking all the supplements I needed. Terrible idea. And so I was cramping a lot, especially in my glutes. And then the heartburn. You start getting heartburn. I'd get it halfway through the day, and then I'd have heartburn for 12 hours. It was terrible. And so the last time I used tren, I used over a gram per week. and I did manage to sleep. But the higher your trend goes, the more ancillaries you need to manage the side effects. So I was taking melatonin. This is just to sleep. This isn't like the inflammation. So I was taking melatonin, Benadryl, which is an antihistamine, and I was taking glycine, vitamin C, zinc, N-acetylcysteine, and what the hell else before bed? Now I take magnesium before bed, but it's a different formulation because if I took my magnesium bisglycinate before bed, I'd shit my pants because it's a laxative. So you have to take it with food, so that's a little more slowly because it draws water into the intestines, and when you eat it with food, it's a little more slowly, so it doesn't have that laxative effect. So the one I have is there's like a bunch of different types of magnesium in it, and it's mixed with melatonin.
Have you gotten the knee smacking erections yet? Like my boners are way harder and shit.
That's what I take now, and I would take instant release melatonin and fast release, and timed release melatonin. And if I woke up in the night, then I take more instant release melatonin to get back to sleep. And then another thing is that you want to sleep in a cooled room because it increases your body temperature. All androgens do that because it has to do with adrenaline signaling. And so the heartburn, I don't know exactly how to manage that. I just stopped getting it. I think it's because the gear is higher quality. And then I also take, because one of the causes of heartburn could be low stomach acid. And so what I do is I take apple cider vinegar tablets, capsules before each meal. And so that'll increase your stomach acid content. Anyways, it's pretty expensive if you want to do it right and not get totally fucked up. And I don't think a lot of people realize that at the start. And you don't want to end up getting like terrible fucking acne like me or some other issue. Let's say you're not as laid back as me and you're a ferret person, or a badger. You're a badger person. Terrible idea. You go out, and that's another thing is like you definitely don't want to go out to parties and shit because you're going to want to kill people. You go out to the bar, what do you want to?
Maybe don't take Tren.
You want to go to jail over some guy you think disrespected you. Some people say that there's like paranoia that goes with it. I didn't get any of that. But getting in a fight over some dipshit drunk guy at a parties, it's not worth ruining your life. Or over women, stuff like that. That makes you really horny. You knock up a slut. You're gonna ruin your kid's life because their mother's a slut and their dad's a dumbass. We already got enough of that going on. The state pays people like that to have kids. The state has propagated the parasitic class, the low IQ people, and so that's what you get. And then those people vote, and look at the state of the economy. And but things are expensive because of corporate greed, not because of inflation. It's not that.
All right. I think I will head to bed now. But tomorrow, I'm probably gonna get up, stream a workout in probably 7-ish hours. Yeah, I'll probably end up waking up at like 9 and then doing a workout at 10 or something. 10 or 11 maybe. We'll train chest, shoulders, triceps. And then I'll try to do a normal stream at night. And I think Friday night I'll be unbanned on YouTube. So I'll be, in all likelihood, be back on at night on YouTube Friday. I'm gonna be out in Toronto on Saturday for the Veg Fest that's going on. So I'll be at Vegandale. So I probably won't be streaming Saturday because I'll be out all day doing that. And things should be back completely to normal on Sunday. Again, I'm not sure if the ban ends Friday. It's either Friday, Saturday. If it ends Friday, I'll be streaming Friday night. If it's not back Friday, then I'll just stream on Kick Friday, and then Saturday probably no stream because I'll be out all day in Toronto, and then Sunday back to normal. So I'll see you all then. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. Keep making those vegan gains. And I'll see you all later. Sweet dreams.